Welcome, one and all, to another live stream edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and this week I've been joined by Jeff on the other side of the screen from me. Then underneath we have Dave and Bell. Thank you guys for jumping in. It was very nice.
Awesome is down here this time.
To the countdown music, boom, 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 boom. He was just popping away, and then the theme music kicked over, and he starts headbanging on his private screen down there. So that was
I was not improving.
You're right. Actually, I don't have that bit recorded, unfortunately, but it did happen. I'll tell you.
No proof.
Anyway,
No video, no proof.
Get through as always tonight. We have got the next round for King of the Riff is going to be Black Sabbath Paranoid versus Metallica Ride the Lightning, and I'll tell you now that the audience vote was fucking tight. So we'll see how that thing plays out as the night progresses. We have the finale of this season of Fretboard Feud, which is the Black Sabbath Tony Martin era, and we've got another backyard banger focusing on HZed, which Bell is going to take this week. And I was going to do Who Am I, but I have run out of time this week, so Bell, it's up to you to take care of that one for me. We did discuss that prior, which is all good. Have the bin, all the usual stuff, everything going on as well. So make sure you jump in the comments, say hi, let us know where you're watching from if it is the first time tuning in. And just basically get involved in the conversation. We have a lot to get through as always. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. I'm going to put up some things at the bottom of the screen, not to do. Just watch and look at those things as you go along. But yeah, it's another big week, another big show, another with plenty to get through. So without any further ado, let's kick things off by going into the Hot Rocks segment of the show. And I'm not sure if Conrad's going to join us, just for the record, folks. So just sort of bear with us here while we do this, and we'll do some comments. Oh, Michael's here. Good evening, all. Good to see you. His name on YouTube, Benito Bang Bang now.
Hey, buddy.
Ben?
You should understand lefties.
There's going to be a story to that. And Bash is saying good evening, gang. Good to see you as well, Bash. Good to see everyone here. Keep jumping in, keep saying hi. But we're going to get stuck into the Hot Rocks, which is our songs of the week. We changed the format up last week, and it seemed to go pretty well. We enjoyed it, all of us here. So we'll see how things progress this week. So just to quickly recap here, going through the 10 through 6 choices. So Blind Love, Uncomfortable Silence, as nominated by Kat, got into number 10 this week. Snarm, with their second song nominated by Jolie, got into number 9 with the Someday Somewhere track. Coming in number 8 was Giant Walker Silhouettes, nominated by Michael. Freeze the Fall, One Less Standing, which was one from last week, actually held over into this week. We had a bit of an interesting sort of fall of results this week, which I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, that was another one that was one that held over for 2 weeks now. And then just missing out on the top 5 was Ghost with The Future is a Foreign Land, nominated by Basher. Just missed out on the top 5.
More votes.
But anyway, into the top 5 then we have Bullets and Octane, No One Gets Out Alive, nominated by Kat, got into number 5 this week. And then in a weird quirk, because that song by Those Damn Crows, Vinny kept giving it his votes every week, and then this week he didn't give it the 3 votes, but it ended up going into number 4 because other people voted it in favor because they didn't like the new songs this week. So I got to number 4 this week, so it's a resurging track. It's hovering around 8, 9 for the last few weeks, and now it's back up to number 4 with Let's Go Psycho. So that song just keeps on keeping on. Number 3 was Category 7, the new band from John Bush with their song Apple of Discord, nominated by Jeff this week, came in 3rd spot. Coming in number 2 from Michael was Mushroomhead, We Don't Care. And then number 1, actually, good to see, Aussie Act, Primrose Path from Perth with their song Hex, nominated by John. It's coming in at number 1 this week. So there we go. That's the recap quickly. Jolie's here saying, hi, beautiful people. Good to see you, Jolie.
Hey, Jolie.
Okay, all right, but let's do the rounds here. So, Belle, let's start with you. What was your pick the bunch this week out of the songs?
Yes, it was Let's Go Psycho by Those Damn Crows. And this was new to me. And I saw that you mentioned in your post in Discord that you'd done it before. I don't remember this. And then I thought, I've got to find it. And so I searched YouTube and I discovered that you reviewed it. I wasn't there on that night. Wow. I think it was Taste of Chaos. Gosh,
Embrace the Chaos.
Embrace the Chaos.
Like Skittle.
Taste of Chaos. What was that? That was like a mini festival, I think.
Taste the Rainbow, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
You're thinking of Skittles. You're thinking of Skittles.
I'm
Taste
not
the
thinking
Rainbow.
of Skittles. I'm thinking of Kill Switch Engage. Like this was, I don't know, mid to late 2000s. I went and saw few bands in Sydney. It was called Taste of Chaos. I'm sure I've still got tickets. So
Next spring, most of us going to get fucked up on Skittles. That's what's going to happen.
Dave, you drinking and a sugar rush is going to be a show for everyone to see for all the time. Especially if you throw up
What are you drinking?
anyway.
Oh,
Just add some caffeine into that and we're fucked.
is that what you're doing tonight? Is there caffeine and sugar in your beverage?
Yeah, this is Coke and brandy.
Oh.
It's like Christmas all come at once.
Nice.
Yeah, brandy on tongue's not good.
Psycho at Christmas.
Yeah, well, we are going Psycho Bill.
I'm going to stop interrupting.
I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. All right. So new to me, and this happened to be, it just stood out to me on this playlist. So I thought, well, great. I will talk about it. Definitely. Yes, it's you again.
David twice in 5 minutes. He's going well tonight.
He's like, how many have you had? How many?
My phone isn't drinking.
10?
See, you know that for sure. Anyway.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm just going to read this and ignore Dave.
Yeah.
Please do.
It's definitely what got me moving. I felt it straight away that this song has a great energy. I love the main riff. And Andrew, once again, I'm going to lobby for a riff of the year category for the top 10s.
Yep.
And that doesn't happen. I'm just going to do my own riff of the year just for funsies because.
Yeah, no, I reckon we can do that this year. I think it's
let's do it.
It would be fun. I think it would be cool.
Come on, Jeff, you're a guitar player.
Yeah.
Especially since the three of you play guitar.
Guitar nerd.
Yeah.
I try. I don't really play it, but I try.
I guarantee you're doing better than I am these days, Jeff. Guarantee.
And me.
Yeah.
And me,
Riff
Jeff.
of the year, wank of the year, same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not participating in it. Anyway, I'm going to keep going with this review.
Bill, I don't expect you to join that one. Anyway.
Well, I could. Oh, shit. No, I'm not getting drawn into this shit.
No, you better keep moving.
This is modern rock at its best. It isn't particularly original sounding, but in this case, I don't care because it sounds so good. Yeah. It doesn't sound tired. It doesn't sound boring, which is hard to do these days in such a flooded market. Mm-hmm. The production is nice and clean and just jam right beautiful. So I give this 10 shots just for the production alone. Oh. Wow. The singer is one of the lucky ones with a natural gift that you can just sit back and listen to and enjoy, without even thinking about it. Now, you're probably all aware that this is not my go-to genre, and, I say that every time and probably get some virals. Probably get some virals. It's kind of like Andrew's, premise. Now, I don't normally talk about solos, but
I was waiting to come in that conversation.
But look, this is just a damn good song. I really enjoyed it, and this sounds like a cool band. And I think they're from Wales. Is that right, or am I mixing that up with someone else? Spotify player.
Yeah, they are.
Which is cool. Which is unusual. We don't get a lot out of Wales, so go Wales. Anyway, I gave this 7 shots.
Nice. 7 shots.
7.
Didn't you just say
you gave it 10 for the production alone?
I know.
10 for production, 7 for the song.
10 for production. The production was flawless.
All right.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, so 7. Look, it's good, but I'm a hard marker.
You are turning into that hatchet. You're living up to that nickname.
7 is a good score.
7 is a good score. Unless it comes
just take it.
Then it's a great score.
Okay, fine then. Right.
8's a good score. 7's one more than 6.
All right. Just quickly, Guru is here saying, evening, greetings, rockers across the lane. Good to see you, mate. Hopefully you keep them all over there. Dan's here going, Jeff, you bloody legend. So there's one for Dan.
Jeff's fan club's back. Fucking hell.
I know, right? Cat's here going, hey. And Vinny, of course, Vinny chimes in now. Evening all up, up those damn crows. Definitely my favourites for the year. 10 shots every week into Alcoholics Anonymous territory. That is where Vinny is heading with that song each and every week.
Nice one, Vinny.
All right, up next, I have on my list, I have Dave. You have the next call. So what was your pick of the week this week?
Fuck, what did I pick? Okay. I picked category 7, Apple of Discord.
Yeah,
What did I
nice.
write? All right. Okay. I wasn't aware of this supergroup project. I hadn't heard a thing from this. I picked this song because, much like 70s porn, the bush really stood out. As soon as I heard this song,
right.
it was obvious it was John Bush on vocals.
Yeah.
He has a very distinct voice. I didn't know anything about this. I'm like, that's John Bush. So I checked out the band, and in addition to John Bush, you have members from Mushroomhead, Adrenaline Mob, Exodus, Overkill, and Shadows Fall.
Yeah.
All cool bands. A lot of heavy hitters in the supergroup, all bringing everything from their respective bands into this bombastic mess. For the most part, it's a pretty cool song. The vocals are standout. The chorus has a good hook. The lyrics are pretty good. The musicianship is impressive. At times, it seems like everybody's playing their own song. It's like somebody said, everybody solo, and we'll see what happens. And it's layer upon layer.
Yes.
I was like, fuck me. Right? Individually, they're cool. As a collective, it's just like, rein it back a little bit. You're not Dream Theater. You can't smack everything in the fucking 6 minutes and make it sound great. It's really hard to do that. Judging by the cover art with the cyclone, I guess that's their intention of just ripping everything up into one massive fucking pot of insanity. Overall, it's a pretty good song. I won't be listening to it next week, but for this week, I got a kick out of it, mostly because it's John Bush and everything he does sounds fucking awesome. But if he's going to record stuff, do another Armored Saint album, please, because that band is fucking amazing. Or convince Scott Ian that Anthrax can tour with 2 singers. That would be fucking amazing. Yes, do both eras. God damn it.
Yep.
But this song gets 7 shots. Pretty cool. Fuck, I was just complaining about 7 shots, and I give this one.
Hypocrisy abounds.
Yes, it's a good score. It's one more than 6.
All right, quickly comments now. You're welcome, Guru's going, cheers, guys and guys to us. Now, Terry's gone, hi, everyone. Good to see you, Terry. Hope you're having a good night out there. Michael replied saying, Bell, you're late with those damn crows by weeks. Penalty, add 3 shots to your score. So, being weeks late on that one. David's here. G'day, all. Love your work. Thanks for jumping in. Love having you here with us. And Guru, yes, you're right. Armored Saint John Bush. That is the one from Category 7. For these 5 songs, they're in the description box. So you can go and check it out in there. Bush. Like everything else. Yeah, go and check out the Bush in the box. Then anyway, Jeff, over to you after that.
That's a hard one to follow. Okay, I'm going to go with No One Gets Out Alive.
Cool.
By Bullets and Octane.
Yep.
Well, I listened to the song and I liked it. And then when I looked at the thing, I'm like, oh, Steve Stevens is on here. That's cool. I've said many times, he's one of my favorite guitar players of all time. So, I was secretly happy that Dave did Category 7 because I had nominated it and I was going to do something if no one mentioned it, just say, hey, it's a good song. I thought it was pretty good. So thank you, Dave.
Welcome, Dave. Yeah, please.
Well, there you go. But look, Bullets and Octane, I never heard of these guys. Never heard of them.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about them.
They're from the States. They've been around for like 30 years or something. They put out a bunch of stuff and never heard of them. So they've been completely under my radar, but they're pretty good. I like this song. I thought the song was actually very well done. Production was pretty decent. It wasn't like amazing. They're obviously working within a budget, and you can tell that. I think there's a little bit of.
But I thought that rough worked for it. So yeah,
I think so too. So I'm not taking any points off for that. So yeah, I thought the lyrics were pretty cool. The chorus is kind of catchy, sticks in your head that no one gets out alive stuff, and you end up singing it yourself. I listened to it quite a bit, back and forth in work, and then I have a Bluetooth speaker in the shower, which I'm not going to go in, but I do play that when I'm having a shower. I've mentioned that before. And
you bring the Bush to the shower, dude.
I know.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I didn't do the John Bush one. But I just think
it's a rainfall. It's probably close.
No one gets out alive, so I'm not gonna. I didn't write down anything. I just thought it'd be mentioned a little bit. I liked it. Thought it was pretty cool. Gonna give it 7 shots.
Wow, we're going 777. All right.
Yeah, we're a little bit elevated from 666. We're beyond 600.
Right?
777 is.
Wasn't that like to hell with the devil or something?
No. 777 is like the God number is supposed to be.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking Stroke.
He was so pleased with us
I'm
today.
just saying, you asked.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I'm so
Settle down.
disappointed.
It's funny because Kat's gone. I'm with you, Jeff. I like No One Gets Out Alive. 7 shots.
Yeah.
Well, considering you
Another
nominated, there
7.
we go. Another 7 shots. It's going around. Okay, I'm going to shake things up. My pick next. As I'm want to do, I'm going to go with the Aussie act in this one. Primrose Path, Hex. I think that's a really cool fucking song, actually. It's the latest release from this Perth band, and it kind of puts me in mind when I listen to it. Dave, you and I both love Melbourne band Acolyte. This is like if Acolyte added growling and gent to their sound. That's what this band kind of sounds like to me. So I really enjoyed if you think about that, what I'm getting at, like it's a bit more growling, a bit more genty, but there's some similarities to Acolyte in there as well.
Yeah.
It's
fucking what Acolyte doing? I haven't heard from them in ages.
Their Acolyte is still doing stuff, just don't know how much, but yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
So do I.
They're a great
fucking band.
Great band.
Great band. But anyway, it's progressive, it's melodic, it's chunky and growly on the flip side of that. And I also really enjoyed the note choices, and I think that's kind of put me in mind of Acolyte a little bit as well. There's a big hook in the chorus, which is cool. It's got great use of light and shade. It really builds along nicely as the song goes through as well, and it has just a little bit of drama to it, which I enjoy taking in for. It's about a 6-minute long song. Great tones, great layering. There's a haunting bit just after the halfway mark, which I thought was a great element in the song as well. And the way it then fades out in the close is cool too. I think this one just has a bit of everything for me. If you like it melodic or aggressive, you're going to find something here. And I think it's one of those ones that's kind of sneaky good in that it can be a gateway either way. So if you like it heavier, this might tease you into the softer side of things a little bit. If you like it softer, this might tease you back into the heavier side of things. So it's one of those sneaky sort of slipway kind of a song, not a gateway, because it can go sort of each way kind of
like
thing.
Like an egg, hard-boiled egg. You can have it soft, you can have it hard. It's up to you.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I don't eat them much, but anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I want to go and I enjoyed this one. I like the atmosphere in it as well. It can be aggressive in your face, but it can be really soft and atmospheric. It has really great, balance. Each side of the coin is well represented in one song here. So I want to go and check out a lot more from this band. They've got an EP from a few years ago and a bunch of singles as well. So I'm going to go check out more from these guys, and I need to make sure they're on that Backyard Banger list we've got of like a million fucking bands. So they're going to make sure they're on there if they're not already, and then they can sort of go into the rotation for us to eventually get through as well. But you guys can take your 7 shots and stick it. I'm giving this one 9. I loved it. I think it was fantastic personally. I really did enjoy that song. So that was definitely my standout this week. Although I will give a quick sneaky shout out to Mushroomhead, We Don't Care. That was a cool song too. I like that one.
It was cool. Yeah.
I liked
no.
I didn't think you'd like it, Dave, but I thought it was
no. I always thought that band now was just another name for dickhead.
Anyway,
that was terrible. Fucking Jesus.
Vinny has gone. Next minute, his Bluetooth speaker picks up Jeff flossing his anus with a towel past the shower. Towel post shower. Vinny.
No, I've got one of those, those loofah things on a stick for that.
Jeff,
this is hard to reach places.
You're not.
TMI.
Paddle Pop and Paddle Pop Lion, don't play with either of those things in the context of the conversation right now. Anyway, Sparks is gone. Jeff with the guns out, so there we go. Johnny's here. Hey, everyone. Good to see you, man.
Johnny.
Hope you're keeping well out there. And Sparks is going, can't beat Enter Sandman. Well, it's not on tonight.
Yes, you can.
You can.
Absolutely.
It's not on tonight's agenda, so we're not even going to entertain that one. Cool. Well, that is the Hot Rocks segment done. Just for everyone's awareness, there's playlists. If you can search our Spotify account, just search for the Hot Rock Show and Hot Rocks and also Tastemakers. They're the 2 playlists. Because on Tastemakers this week, the new songs for us to choose from, go through the voting in Patreon on Saturday now, is going to be Ariel Sun, Sing Without You, Carmeria, Immortal, Dynasty with Devilry of Ecstasy, The Lazies, new song from them, Ripper of a Night. King Locust, Until the Last Dog is Hung. That's featuring Almir from Ice on Mercury, Dave, that one there. Almir.
Nice.
King Locust. Leprous are in there with Like a Sunken Ship. Marilyn Manson, Raise the Red Flag. Miles Kennedy, Nothing More to Gain. Red Hook, New South Wales band with Pyromaniac, and Texas Hippie Coalition, Gunsmoke. That's the list for Tastemakers this week to choose from. So we'll get to that one as in Patreon. So if you want to get involved in that one, you know what to do, folks. Join us over in Patreon.
Amelia's album's out tomorrow. Make sure you listen to it.
I have got that down in the next segment, so don't worry about that, Dave. That is going to get a shout out in just a moment. Michael's here saying, "Hey all, good to see you, Michael.
Hey,
Hope you're keeping well." And Sparks says, "Jeff isn't a kid. He sent the boys a group photo. Was not what you want to see with your morning coffee."
Oh, Jeff, dude, what the fuck, man?
It's possible.
Man, these people know hair. What the fuck?
People with no hair.
Well, this is going interesting. And Bash has gone, Canary is my choice, 9 shots, and second, the Lazy's 8 shots. Well, you'll get to do those votings on Saturday, Bash, so I'm looking forward to seeing your results come through there. That will be very cool indeed. So, yeah, for those who want to get involved, Patreon, like I was saying before, that is where you get involved. All right, on to the Hard Rock Happenings segment here, just quickly for a couple of minutes. The 3 things that I think you need to know about quickly. First and foremost, let's touch on the passing of Jack Russell from Great White. Steph and I did mention that in the Sunday session for Patreon. But he's sadly passed away at the age of 63, less than a month after announcing that he was retiring from touring after discovering he had Lewy body dementia. So that all came about very, very quickly. He had a great voice and leaves behind one hell of a musical legacy. Go look at how many albums he's done over his career, if nothing else. And yeah, just wanted to pass on our condolences to all of those that knew and loved him. You know, obviously the people that are closest to him. He was fortunate enough to have his family by his side when he went, which is lovely to hear. But yeah, condolences to everyone who knew and is affected by this one, because these sorts of messages are never fun, but we wanted to make sure we get the word out there and just say congrats on a hell of a career. There were definitely some ups and downs in there, but fuck, there's a lot of music to go through. So go and check it out if you want to go and know more about just how talented this man was as a vocalist. Other bit of news, a couple of more positive ones now. The third one is a bit of a mixed bag, but this one here is Channel 31, good friends of ours. Channel 31, we've been on that network for over a decade now on our TV side of things on Saturday nights. On Saturday, October the 5th, Channel 31 are having an event to celebrate 30 years of broadcast, believe it or not.
Wow.
We've been on that for over a third of that time. How the fuck we did that, I don't know. But just wanted to let everyone know about that. It's an event in Melbourne City. It's a ticketed event. You can go to Channel 31 and get the information you need. But it's also a fundraiser for the network as well. So if you are interested in going down, getting a bit of nostalgia and seeing, you know, all the old things from Channel 31 from old days up to today, including the fish cam, you can go there and get a bit of a kick on all those sorts of things as you may, you know, fill your boots on that one and have some fun with it. But yeah, also help the network raise some money to continue pushing and growing as they move into a new era. Now that we have the licenses, pretty much like they're not going to take away the licenses anymore. So it's all, you know, nicely settled now. So Channel 31 can actually have a bit of security. Get on down, support them, have a great night as well. So good to see them sort of kicking on with that.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get the blooper footage from when we filmed that commercial? Because I would love to see that.
I will have to email them and ask. I can ask Shane; he might know, like the managing director of the network.
Because my God, we fucked up so much.
I know we fucked up heaps.
We don't work to a script, people. They tried to make a script. It was worse reading a script than what we do each week.
Yes, it was not a good idea to make us read to a script.
No.
So, and they got lots of footage out of that. So yeah, I did ask for it when we went there, but I haven't heard back. And I know that the woman, I forget her name, sorry, I'm bad with names, but the one that organised and we spoke to when we were there, she's since left the network and moved back over to Adelaide, I think. So it might have been one of those things that's gotten lost along the way. So I'll have to follow up on that and see if I can find out anything. I'll reach out to her. Even if I can't get it together between now, like something to maybe air around that time or even before, around the Christmas period, too, will be kind of fun to put together as well. Final little bit of news here to cover off before I get into the releases for the week. Good Things Festival for 2024. That lineup has been announced, and it features bands such as Korn, Sum 41, Violent Femmes, Mastodon, Kerry King, Jet, The Living End, L7, North Lane, The Butterfly Effect, and many more.
Mastodon.
Nice. Yeah, so it's a diverse bag. And there's many more.
Yeah.
That's just me picking some selected highlights. So
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, just dropped a few hours ago. I was just quickly scrolling through it while getting ready to do this one tonight and found that one like, okay, well, I can obviously go into this section of the broadcast tonight. So yeah, definitely again.
When is that happening?
Oh, now you put me on the spot. I should have done that.
Over the summer, usually, isn't it? Summer kind of festival.
It is summer.
Yeah.
What do we got here? There should be a.
It's all right. I could look it up. I just thought you might have had that in front.
I don't have it off the top of my head. I've got the bands.
Okay.
So here you go. It's December. So Friday, December 6 in Melbourne. Saturday, December 7 Sydney. Sunday, December 8 in Brisbane. So there you go. And pre-sale tickets are going to open in 4 days. So if you want to get, you have to register for pre-sale, but those are going online in 4 days. So yeah, December 6 through 8 is when that is happening. There's a lot, man.
Dragon is still fucking alive. Wow.
Yeah, there's heaps, man. Like
Killing Heidi.
That's why when I said there's a lot of bands, I just went with like selected highlights.
Yeah.
Like,
Living End, Jet, Gaslight
Yeah.
Anthem.
It's not a bad lineup. It's a diverse lineup, but it's a very
diverse.
Yeah, it'd be a corner headlining, I believe, but it'd be very interesting to sort of see what people sort of think about that in the feedback loop of things.
Is there more to be announced? Do you know? Or is this just
think so. I think that might be it, but I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. I'm not
pretty
in
good fucking lineup.
It is a
yeah,
good lineup.
That mixed bag is more reminiscent of this sort of earlier Big Day Out type
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you kind of Aussie hard rocks mixed in with your really heavy stuff, and it was just they were good days. So this is a good lineup.
It does feel a bit like that. And the irony there is I saw Korn at the Big Day Out way back. So that's that's gone back a few years as well. But yeah, that's an interesting, cool lineup. Let's quickly go to some comments here just before I move on to the releases. Cat's gone, the fish can. Many late nights with that on the background. I think we all are guilty of that one.
No, I'm not.
Benito's gone, Dave has trouble following simple instructions, mate. I'm just as bad. Don't worry. It's
I can follow simple instructions. Drink goes in here.
Dave, pat your head and rub your stomach. That's
my head inside my stomach.
There you go.
See?
Oh, I can't.
I'm a guitar player. I can do different things with two hands. Let's not get into that.
I'm going to move on. You guys can enjoy tapping and rubbing all you like. Vinny says, I'm very keen on that festival, actually, for the butterfly effect alone. Hoping there's a special appearance by Corey Feldman. What, with another guitar solo, Vinny? But anyway, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, bit of fun to be had. Obviously, having a bit of fun here tonight. All right, on to the new releases that are coming out tomorrow, and also a bit of a quick
Please move on.
A couple from last week. Red Hook released their new EP, Pyromaniac, which is where that song I referenced comes from. So they released their new EP last week. Also, I know a lot of people out there are going to be keen on this one. The Southern River Band released their brand new album, DIY, last week as well. We didn't have that in the list, so I'm going to recap that.
They're playing in Hobart on Sunday night. And I'm really considering going because I really like them. Yeah.
You should go, Bill.
Psychroptic are playing on Saturday night. So I'm like, that's like... No one can see, and then they come like bang bang 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, I know.
So
couldn't have given you like 1 week in between. But also, but also the Southern River Band. That album is currently in our current listening playlist because Jeff and I are going to go through and review it on Sunday as well, so you can get around that one. All right, on to tomorrow. Obviously, Dave mentioned it, but Chimeria, the new album Tragedy d'Amour, comes out tomorrow, and Dave and I will both wholeheartedly recommend you check it out. Put that on listening. It is
shots, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be up there. Dave was right. Dave was telling me it was going to be up there for album of the year. It is going to be up there for album of the year. It is
I was right.
Stunning release. So yeah, Dave has already filmed a review, which I'll release as soon as I can. But obviously, we've got Chimeria coming up on TV, not this Saturday night, but next Saturday as well. After an interview with them, so we have an interview with Jordan in the can as well. So there's a bit coming up with this over the next couple of weeks. So just keep your eyes peeled for more love for Chimeria coming your way. But also coming out tomorrow on the other side of things internationally, we have All for Metal with their new album Gods of Metal. That's an interesting one. Flesh God Apocalypse have a new album called Opera coming out tomorrow. Nile have The Underworld Awaits Us all coming tomorrow as well. And then we have Simone Simons from Epica. Her debut solo album Vermilion comes out tomorrow as well. So that is one.
I did not know about this.
That is it's a good, like, we've had a few songs sent through to us, and they're good, man. I reckon you'll like this one. She's written it with Arian Lucasen from Arion. So
get the fuck out of here.
Those two wrote together to write this album.
Holy fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's going to be impressive.
I mean, they won't be touring, but yeah.
Yeah, no, of course, studio album, but very, very cool. And a final footnote here: Zeal and Ardor have their new album Grief coming out tomorrow as well. There's a lot of other ones in the list. That's just a selected edition, so you know what to do. Go and check out the usual outlets to find out what is going to be interesting you tomorrow in the release schedule. Benito has gone when Dave scratches his balls, his leg twitches like a dog's.
Do you want to see that?
You got it like
Be
a
careful what you wish
got
for.
like a cam in Dave's house or something. Yeah,
Wow.
spy cam happening.
Yeah, we got
I
Jeff's
need a few more
Bluetooth.
shots for that shit.
We got secret Dave cam Bluetooth from Jeff. I don't know what the fuck's going on now. Anyway, it's turning into the X-rated OnlyFans version. All right. Anyway, Belle, we're going to lean on
Is there
you now.
another type of OnlyFans?
No, I don't know, actually. But, Belle, it's time for Backyard Banger. Now, this time we skipped things around last week, and Dave is going to take care of next week with Chimera. But tonight is up to Belle to cover Melbourne band HZed. They have released 3 singles so far, so Belle's going to go through all those, and then the rest of us will give a quick little thought, if any, and just a shot score to recap the segment there. But the 3 singles released are No Color, Point of View, and You Know. Those 3 songs are in our current listing playlist, which will be rotated through in a few days. So if you want to check these things out, find them easily. Make sure you like or subscribe to that playlist on Spotify, because then you get it, every week we update it, and you'll be able to keep up to date with everything we're talking about. But anyway, Belle, all that said, over to you. How did you go with HZed Point of View? And I'll put a link in the comments for that. HZed, the 3 singles. I'm going to put a link to the Point of View song in the comments now for everyone to go and check out if they choose to do so. But yes, Belle, over to you.
Yeah. So as you said, 3 tracks, No Color, Point of View, and You Know. You like your hard rock straightforward, but packing quite a bit of punch, then you'll love particularly the first 2 songs, No Color and Point of View, first 2 songs on the playlist. Yes, the songs are straightforward in that they have verses and choruses, as most songs do. But this band really know how to add extra interest to their songs by playing around with these things like halftime feels here and there. And I think the drummer does a fantastic job of leading the way, mixing things like that up.
Yep.
You also get down and dirty guitar tone, giving voice to a perfect mix and match of chugging away on power chords or full chords ringing out, interspersed with some lovely melodic riffs that sing in their own right. Bass player throws in some great licks of his own here and there, which he does at just the right moments, usually when there's a bit of space in the songs, so perfect placement to my ears. Let's talk about the vocals here. If you're a hard rock band needing a singer and this gal comes along to audition, you would be thanking the stars or God or Satan or whatever deity you worship. Because what a voice.
Yes, agree.
Look, I mean, I have no idea if that's how she came to be their singer. She might have been there from the start. I don't know. But she is the perfect singer for this band. Powerful, but not cutting. And there's a fine line there for me. There are plenty of undeniably fantastic female vocalists that I can't listen to because their singing's like drill bits in my ears. But she, Michelle, I believe her name is, does not have that quality to her voice. It's powerful, perfect for rock, while being beautifully smooth. And this smoothness seems to be the perfect counterbalance to all the distorted guitars.
Yeah.
And she injects heaps of personality into her vocals too, which, again, suits this style of music and this band. And she self-harmonises really well in Point of View, and I really enjoyed that. And she's also got great diction. I think that's so you can understand everything she's saying, which I don't think people care enough about. And I also really enjoyed it when the boys, I assume the boys of the band, jumped in and did some backing vocals, sort of counter vocals almost in the chorus of No Color. Great effect, just adding another flavour to this already tasty rock soup.
Nice.
I like that.
I like that one.
Rock soup.
Cool.
Okay. Eat with a fork or spoon. Your choice.
The song, You Know, is still a rock song at its core, but it's also quite a bit different to the other 2 songs. And it was actually my favourite of the 3. It has this beautiful, sultry swing for the most part, and it works its way through a couple of changes in feel. It gets a bit rocky, then back down into that dreamy state that it starts out in. Because that's how I felt. It was just kind of just swept me away. It was cool. Great journey. You don't know where it's going, but you're not disappointed at the end of the ride. And shout out to the guitarist for a super cool solo in this one.
Yeah.
And really good lyrics too. Good message. You've got one life, don't throw it away. And it's really good to be reminded of that every now and then, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the band name represents, HZed.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the bottom of that. Yeah.
I'm thinking, when I hear HZed, I think of like the 70s, like classic Holdens before they started producing like manufacturing Commodores, like the HZeds, like right at the end of the 70s.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's like written HZ with an ED, forces you to say HZ rather than like HZ if you were American.
Could it be pronounced hazed?
Possibly.
Hazed? Exactly. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
That's just what I took from that. Is when
I'm if anyone knows
doesn't mean,
but why you'd have one vowel and not the other one in there is beyond me.
Yeah,
so that's a mystery that I'd be keen to unravel.
Yeah,
if someone knows. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. So 7 shots from me. I don't know if these 3 songs are just the singles from a forthcoming album, or if we don't know yet. But
don't know.
Yeah, cool to check out the album if that's
they're good,
or anything else they bring out.
Nice. Well done, Bill. Thank you very much for jumping in this week. Dave, let's go to you next. How'd you go with it?
Okay, what did I write? Fucking Jesus. Okay, back here, banger, HZed. Straight up hard rock done well. 3 songs, all different, cool vocals, no color. Good hook to the chorus, and the solo was cool at the end. Point of view, cool riff and dirty guitar tone. Cool vibe, bit of a swing to the song. This was pretty cool. 7 shots. It's a night for 7 shots, I guess.
It's a 7 shot night. Jeff, you going to continue the trend?
I am actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what the fuck, man. We've been touched by
weird.
Wow, this is weird tonight. You had a night like this.
He's watching. He's got his fingers all over our scorecards.
That's right.
Couldn't join us, but he gave us something. Yeah.
I really like this as well. I thought it was everything you guys said. It and I kind of confused by the name as well.
If someone knows for sure how to pronounce that band name, let us know.
If the band ever sees this, let us know. Yeah.
Yes,
well, when I put the post up asking for the 4 bands and I put a video post up, no one corrected me on saying the name wrong. So, I'm assuming it's HZed because that's how I put it in that video going back weeks ago.
You'd think it would be HZed, but I thought that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's hazed. I don't know.
Maybe, possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But who cares? The music's good. It doesn't matter what the name is. Yeah. So I liked it a lot. So 7 shots from me as well. Yep.
Nice. Again, fuck your 7 shots. I'm giving it 8. I'm going to be the outlier all night, I reckon. This is a cool little sample. It's only 3 songs. You've only got X amount to work with. But overall, I like the bite and the hooks. That combination of the bite and the hooks along with the groove was really cool. And these songs actually sound really good too. I know they're an independent band, all that kind of stuff, but these actually have really good tones and sounds, really well balanced. Just the right kind of a raw edge to their overall sound as well. It's catchy, but it's a bit nice and dangerous as well. It's got this bit of a nice and dangerous kind of a feel, which is alluring in a lot of ways. I like my rock like that. It's just damn cool. And that's another word for it. Stuff it too is just cool. Like it just felt really cool to listen to it. Overall, nice bit of rumble to the sound. Some cool things going on there. Like I said, 8 shots for me. I really did enjoy this little collection. It's only 3 songs, so I'm only giving it 8 because I'm looking forward to hearing more from the band. When I was digging around earlier tonight before jumping in, it's been a couple of years since they released. I think the last song was in 2022. So I'm not sure what's been happening. So I looked up tonight, and it being a couple of years since release, they've just changed vocalists over the last few weeks. So
really,
Michelle left, I think, in July, and they've just announced a new singer a matter of like 2 weeks ago. So So
Really
that's
changed the band. Yeah.
going to make things interesting. So what
Yeah.
we're hearing now may or may not be indicative of what's going to come next from this band. So very curious as to what the future is going to bring with a new vocalist for them. But for now, we have the 3 songs with Michelle to check out. We enjoyed them, but make sure you go and check them out for yourselves and do the usual stuff there as well. Let's see what else we've got here. All right, so we've only got a spam comment there, which I'm not even going to bother with because we get those on Twitch now and then, which is just fucking nuts. But yeah, next week in the Backyard Banger segment is going to be Dave talking about the new Carmeria album. Safe to say it's going to be a bit of a squirt fest, so bring your range.
Should we just play the review I filmed? Just play that 8 minutes? Or do you want me to do it fresh?
Oh, what do you want to do? I can do it either way, man. So
either or, man. I can just read the same thing, or I can do a shorter version or a longer version, or just play the video.
Right, anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, play the video.
Yeah, I'll cue it up and play that. Well, okay, fine. So we'll premiere a review from Dave next week that hasn't been sent.
There we go. I sit back and watch myself and drink.
Here's one you recorded earlier. So
making reviews takes a very long time. But here's one we made.
But yeah, spoiler alert, it will be a bit of a squirt fest. So just keep your eyes.
It's a gotcha.
Put something over your face.
Wear goggles.
Yeah, wear goggles, wear a poncho, the whole bloody lot. Imagine you're in the outer at the MCG or something and it's going to be torrential rain because that's what this is going to be.
You better cut the last minute off, dude.
Dave, I'm not going to cut anything off of you. All right, so we'll just leave that as it is.
Being left uncut. Okay.
Anyway, time to go on to build a collection. We're sort of moving through things tonight, so make sure you give us your thoughts. People, get in the comments, check things out, and give us your thoughts as always. So we're going to move on now to the final album for us to choose from when it comes to the build a collection Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath albums. I'm going to put a link to the song Evil Eye into the discussion piece now. Is that the correct one to play? Yes, it is.
Good choice, Andrew. Good choice.
Well, it's funny because what I do is I go through the Spotify, look at the one that's got the most plays, and that's when I sort of go and get the video for and dump it into the comments. So it's just, whatever. Okay, Jeff.
Sorry.
Thanks, man.
This guy's playing fucking phone. We just got demonetized for fuck's sake.
I know you're all up now. We're monetized anyway, but anyway. If we were, you'd be on the hook. No. But anyway, the fun part of this is that we've gone through the last few weeks now, the last 4 weeks up until tonight. And each week we've gone through a Tony Martin era Black Sabbath album and picked our own personal songs off in rotating draft order. And then we compare it against what the audience think of the top 5 songs from the album. And we sort of marry things up and whoever gets the best, what do you put it? The best correlating vote, like Family Feud kind of thing. Whoever gets the highest audience score gets the most points, and off you go kind of thing. That's what we're calling this whole segment, Fretboard Feud. Yes, we're ripping off the idea, but I don't give a fuck. It's how things work. So, bit of fun, bit of stupidity.
That's cooler.
Yeah, it does sound cooler. I like our idea a lot more anyway. But anyway, so this week we are going to quickly go back over what we did last week. So last week we had cross purposes. Jeff took Cross of Thorns. Bell took Evil Eye. Actually, that's why that's gone weird. So I've got the wrong song after all because Evil Eye is the one that's from last week. So I should go back and check things here.
That's on this album.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what did I do there? So I'm going to go with Get a Grip. I don't know why. I've got it in the top part where it's in the description box. No, not it is, but not in this moment here. What do we got here? Michael says it's growing on me. There we go. So we're getting
That's the darkness.
It's like a fungus.
That is the darkness. Anyway, Black Sabbath Get a Grip is in the comments now. It's also in the description box along with everything else we're talking about here tonight. So this whole thing here, last week we went through and did now I've lost myself. Cross purposes, like I was talking about. Jeff took Cross of Thorns. Bell took Evil Eye. I took Cardinal Sin. Conrad had The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and Dave took Virtual Death. Those were how things played. And the audience choice top 5 were as follows. Coming in number 5, Psychophobia. Number 4, Back to Eden. Number 3, Virtual Death. Number 2, Eyewitness. And number 1, Cross of Thorns. So Jeff got the number 1 song for this week, which means that as we go through things and score, we had some interesting ties here.
Thank you,
I
people.
believe.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think Conrad and Bell, you tied this week, if I'm correct, and you had to split the votes. Yep. So you got 15 points apiece.
Yeah.
But I've given you one. You're in fourth spot, current in fifth spot because you chose a song with the higher plays overall. So I gave you a tie break in that regard. I got third place because the songs Evil Eye and The Hand That Rocks the Cradle actually got no votes, no self-voting from the audience there. My song got 1 vote, Cardinal Sin got 1 vote, but that was enough to get me 30 points. That's something. Dave gets 40 points and Jeff gets the 50 points.
Yeah, I do.
Which shakes things up a bit because last week, as things stood, the table looked like this. Dave was on 55 points. I was on 70. Jeff on 70 as well. Bell on 105 points and Conrad on 150. This week, though, the total score moves. Dave, you're just short of 100. You're on 95 points. So just short of 100. Me, I just got to 100. So I'm on exactly 100 points. Bell and Jeff are now tied on 120 apiece. But Jeff is currently in second spot, having the song with the higher plays this week. And Conrad is still in front, but the gap is tightening because he's only on 165 now. So next week next week will pivotal. So Conrad's chosen a bad week to take off. Because he doesn't get he's going last and he's going to get whatever is left over at the end of this whole process. So all that being said, we rotate through. Dave got the last choice last week and it was good enough to get him 40 points. So well done. But now Dave gets first choice. So you got the one you wanted last week and now you get to choose whichever one you want. I'm pretty sure I know which one you're not going to go with, Dave.
The one that has iced tea?
Yeah, that'd be the one. So you know,
you know what? You know what? I own the First Body Count CD. I like that album. I used to listen to Ice-T when I was like 12. I got sick of hearing a guy talk about his dick. It's pathetic. But Ice-T with Motorhead, that Born to Raise Hell, that's a cool fucking song. Yeah, this just didn't work. So just fuck that. I am glad that Ozzy eventually returned to Black Sabbath and they released the 13 album, because if this was the last release from Black Sabbath, that would have been fucking horrendous. This got a lot of criticism when it was originally released, apparently due to the production. It's been a long time since I've heard this album. That would have been the original production. To me, a good song will always shine through bad production. Now that this has been remastered, it sounds great. It's obvious that great production just can't save a crap song. And this album is filled with crap songs. It's like the band just hit a wall and we're going through the motions. There's no denying everyone involved has talent. They can certainly play and sing. You can be the best musician in the world, though, unless you can write a good, engaging, memorable song. It's just fucking average. You're just going through the motions. There's not much here that sounds like Black Sabbath, just BS in general. Some great riffs that remind me of stuff that I wrote when I first picked up a guitar. Tony Iommi is much better than this. You were going through the motions, dude. The fucking well had run dry. It's 1995. People are supposed to be dark, moody, and depressed. And Black Sabbath, of all people, released a Happy Joy Yay album. Most of this does not sound like Black Sabbath. It sounds like fucking, yay, let's be happy.
Actually, that's a fair point. I'll pay that. That's a very good point.
It does not fit. I mean, you want Sabbath, you want dark gloom, fucking.
A good point.
And even throughout all the happy joy shit on this fucking album, they just sound sick and tired. And that's the song I'm going to go with, because I can't think of a more fitting title of a song to describe this whole fucking thing. And also, it's the shortest song on the album, so it's over quickly and painlessly. So fuck yeah, sick and tired.
All right, so Dave has taken Sick and Tired off the board. Jeff, you're in second place. So which way are you going on this one?
Well, I actually own the original CD of this.
I'm curious, how does this sound, the remix, compared to the original? I haven't heard the original.
I prefer the original.
Really?
The original.
Wow.
Controversial.
So
interesting.
The new album is louder. Well, because it wasn't just literally, it's a remix. They changed the songs. So it's not just
even like Tony Iommi said, working with NBC was a mistake.
Yeah, it so when I was like, geez, this is not how I remember this. So I dug up my CD and put it on, and I prefer the original. The production, on the new is better because they've cranked up the volume and everything is equalized and stuff. It sounds better that way, sonically. But the songs, they fucked with them. Like
they rearranged them, did they?
Yes. Yeah, they fucked with them. They changed them. They actually used placeholder vocals that Tony Martin had sung that were never actually on the original album. They just took his vocals out and put in the original placeholder because they thought maybe they had more energy or something. But no, I didn't. No. So it's the only one.
And they still didn't improve it.
It didn't improve it, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But yeah. So if someone said, what would I, if I had to choose between the two, I'd go with the original 1995.
Wow. Okay.
That's just me. So what song do I like? I remember when it first came out, there was 2 songs that grabbed me, and the rest of the album was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a head-scratching moment, right? And so it's between those 2 songs, and I have to go with I Won't Cry For You.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's Jeff's choice off the board. All right, cool. I Won't Cry For You. So Dave took Sick and Tired. Jeff has taken I Won't Cry For You. Belle, you have the next call.
Wow. Black Sabbath, Forbidden. So far, so good, right? With the Tony Martin albums.
Yeah.
This is the last one, so yeah.
The last one. I think the last but not least expression does not apply here.
Oh no.
Yeah, because the first song didn't impress me, the second song didn't impress me, and so on and so on. This album was mediocrity at its finest. I think the magic was well and truly gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And by magic, I mean the Tony Martin Iommi combo. I know that there were other musicians. That was a revolving kind of door from what you guys have said. So those 2 are the constants here. I think they should have put the song Sick and Tired as the last song to fittingly close out the album and this era of Black Sabbath.
Actually,
however, in fact, there are a few other suitable track titles that would work as well, like Kiss of Death, I Won't Cry For You, Illusion of Power, Get a Grip. They all work.
That's a fucking horrible song, Get a Grip. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's not good. Look, the thing is, though, Iommi's riffs are still really good. Like, they're not the best, but I quite enjoyed his guitar work on this.
I didn't.
And I did. I think I always do enjoy what he does. So it's a shame that everything around it was not good. So it kind of, I just thought it
made it stand out.
Dragged it down. Yeah. Anyway, I've heard worse albums, but I can't say this one got me very excited.
Yeah. I agree with that. I have heard worse albums. I've heard much better albums.
Oh yeah, there's not a terrible album. It's just the worst album of this batch, I think.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. Yeah, I
didn't get a total hate review from me. I've done worse hate reviews, but it's like you said, mediocrity at its best.
Yeah.
For Black Sabbath in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. No, for an album, it's not bad. For a Black Sabbath album, it's fucking terrible.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, good way to put it.
All right. Well, my song that I actually quite like this song, and it is "Can't Get Close Enough."
Okay.
I just thought that was I really liked.
There are 2. That was the 2. The only ones that I liked on the album.
And you got my number 2. I Won't Cry For You was my number 2. So
they're the best 2 songs.
The ballads, the sort of ballady ones. Yeah, I thought were the best on this. Yeah.
Great. All right.
It's my choice.
Cool. Nice. All right. So Sick and Tired, I Won't Cry For You, and now Belle has taken Can't Get Close Enough. So now it's my call out of the bunch, and it's interesting. This album, like, you go through the history of it, and fuck, did it get canned? Like, everyone's just put the boot into this one, and we're no different.
I remember reviews at the time. It was getting 1 out of 10. It was fucking.
It got smashed.
It got savaged. It got absolutely savaged. And like I said, I'm curious about the original mix versus this remake of the album. Now, I think sonically it sounds pretty good, although you can tell there were some issues in the original tracking, like the drums still sound fucked. And there were some issues there in production too.
There was a thing there between the producer and the drummer. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was trying to get him to play these hip hop fills, and no one tells Cozy Pal how to fucking play a drum. So
no, you
like,
don't make fucking Sabbath a fucking Limp Bizkit clone, for Christ's sake.
I don't know what was going on, but yeah, some weird stuff was going on. There's also some context in Tony Martin in interviews after this one was released was kind of like basically saying this album was a way for the band to get out of their label contract, get rid of the singer, and get back to reuniting with Ozzy Osbourne, hit the road on a reunion tour.
Yeah.
Which this
contractual
kind of
obligations for the Black Sabbath
like that, which is unfortunate.
Fucking turn around
bad for Tony Martin, though, isn't it? Yeah.
I do feel bad for Tony Martin when you hear things like
well,
that.
Dio didn't want to come back, so they had to do something.
I get that, but at the same time, I just feel bad for Tony Martin. I feel like, and for how long all these albums took to get the, the recognition they deserve. Okay, this one's not the best one, but the other albums have been fucking solid. And I think
you can imagine the conversation. Yo, let's do a rap album. Let's get Ozzy back and be OZZY in the house, and let's get Dio back, and they can have a rap battle and all that shit.
Oh man, I feel like throwing up even thinking about that. Not good. The fucking different Skittle rainbow happening now. I just look, this album. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like there's a lyrical shift which doesn't make a lot of sense because Tony Martin's been really into different themes and vibes, and like Dave said, this almost feels like a happy release. Like this isn't working. None of the performances are bad, so everyone's doing their bit, but just the overall song structures and that kind of stuff.
The songs are shit.
Yeah, that's phoned in. Every career has pitfalls. It's just these guys probably a year or two too late, and you can see why in hindsight things played out the way they did. It took 18 years to get another album out of this band, and that being 13, which is a better closing note. And I think that on the back of going through so many of their albums over the years now, I don't think we need another Black Sabbath album. I think Black Sabbath can literally be laid to rest.
No, 13's the one to call it on. That's a good fucking album. It's done.
I don't even think we need another tour. To be honest, we don't need another tour. I think the band can
it's done.
They can rest.
Just leave it.
The band can rest. Yeah.
There's plenty of live footage you can release. You can do compilations. There's all the studio rarities and demos and box sets you can do. Just fucking leave it alone.
Yeah.
Hey, what's Tony Martin doing now? What's he done since?
Not a lot.
I think he's got his solo stuff, but
he did an album last year, I think, from memory.
Oh, okay.
Which was his first one in a while. So I think Tony Martin did.
What style? What kind of genre?
Metal, like metal.
Yeah, it's metal.
Yeah.
And
cool.
I was just looking it up now because I remember that one coming out last year.
Yeah.
Is it under his own name or is it under like a band?
Thorns.
Name?
It's under Tony Martin, and the album is called Thorns. And I did listen to it last year. It's I liked it actually. It was very 2022 it came out actually. Sorry, 2022.
Yeah.
Not 2022.
Yeah, it's quite. I've heard.
Did we review it? In 2020?
No, we didn't get around to it. It was going to be done by us, but we didn't get around to it.
I remember the name, Thorns. Yeah.
Yeah, we were going. The plan was to do it, but we never got there in the end. Release, and then the year went to whatever it went to, and just sort of things didn't quite play out the way it wanted to. So yeah, we were going to get to it, but we never got to it. Maybe one day we will. Maybe we should do like a solo albums thing on this one at some point. To be another theme to.
Yeah, we should do the Tony Iommi solo albums because I never actually listened to it.
Okay, that could be interesting too. But anyway, back onto this one for a minute here. I've got there's two reasons for me taking the song that I'm going to take here. One is I actually like the song, even though other people here didn't like it. But two, it means that Conrad's not going to get the most popular song as well. So I'm just going to do things to play a bit of strategy here.
Fuck you, Conrad.
Just for a bit of fun here. So I'm going just to play the game. Just to play. I'm out of contention.
Fuck you guys, I'm going
to play and fuck other people's fun up. So. Just because I can. I do genuinely like the song, but there's also that facet of I'm just not going to let the person who's not here get the best or the most popular song on the album.
He's done well with that so far, hasn't he?
That's why I'm being a bit strategic.
It's just the opening track.
Yeah, don't blame you.
No. I'm taking Get a Grip. That's the one that's the most popular song by a long way. By a long, long way.
That's the most popular song.
I don't know why.
What the fuck, man? Like, is that like people listen to it because they want to hate on something?
I don't know.
People listen to it because they think it's the Aerosmith song, and they realize, oh fuck, this isn't Stephen Carter.
You probably got a point. You probably got a point, and it doesn't.
An accident.
That's true. You listen to it for 2 seconds, it counts as a view. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the point in this album where people turn it off. So if you do click on this album, you get through the first song, you kind of make it to the second, you turn it off. People listen to it because they think it's Aerosmith. That's why it's got so many fucking votes.
Well,
I bet
to
you're
be
right.
fair,
I
the
bet it's
next
fine.
highest song is Illusion of Power, which is what Conrad's going to get. That's on 84,000 plays. Get a Grip is on nearly 300,000 plays, just for context. So Conrad's going to get Illusion of Power being the second most popular song on the album, but I didn't want to let him get the top one there because he is up near the top, and it's like, nah,
Yeah,
I'm going to
fuck you,
play
Conrad.
in this one. I'm going to play Wrecker. So sorry, but not sorry. I'm going to play. I'm not going to win, so I'm going to go fuck someone else's day up.
Yep.
Bit of strategy,
Awesome.
bit of fun.
Way to do it.
You got to play the game, right? That's what this is. It's a game.
It's a game.
Let's have some
It is
fun.
a game.
All right. So just to recap here, Dave took Sick and Tired. Jeff took I Won't Cry for You. Bell had Can't Get Close Enough. I took Get a Grip, which means Conrad gets Illusion of Power, and we'll see how that plays out. We'll have a post coming up in the coming days. You know the drill by now. We'll get your votes in later on. Let's get some audience comments here. Michael has gone. This is your mate, Dave. Dave, stop bitching before I pick you up on Saturday and take you to my work and make you listen to the shit that I have to. Country music kill me now.
No country. No. You messaged me and you said save you. I would save you if I could, dude. But no, you suffer that country shit.
Oh wow,
Dude,
Vinny's
just come to
now.
mine. I'll get the fire pit going. We'll drink some.
Yeah.
I'll bring some drinks because I'm fucking broke and I got no alcohol. I'm drinking brandy for Christ's sake, and it's almost gone. It tastes like Christmas.
Oh, and it's past July as well.
Yeah.
Vinny
But
is gone.
Seriously, dude. That
this
Saturday,
is-
just drive by. Just fucking that'd be cool.
Yep, cool. All right. Sorry, but yeah, Vinny said the last one was more like Ray Martin than Tony Martin. So there we go. Wow. I sort of come up like, yeah, I got to read that one out. Michael is going, don't often agree with Dave, but it's shit. So there we go. Michael is agreeing with you as well, Dave. So
You don't often agree with me. No, that hurts my feelings. Fuck.
It does.
And Kevin's
Kevin.
here. Greetings, kids. Good to see you, Kevin.
Justin
Shows up just in
In
time.
time.
Good to see you. Just in time, man. Just in time. You did
Doesn't
that
matter
well.
what time we do this thing. You always rock up 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, I know. It's actually kind of cool, isn't it?
It's
Um,
you're Jeff's friend, aren't you? You're the only person. I've narrowed it down.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's my friend.
I'm not the only friend.
Yeah,
or-
Jeff's tipping you off.
Oh,
I
the
see
friend
Jeff
I've
with
got.
phone
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the win to him instead of me.
Right. Okay. So just for context, that is the finale of this one. So we're going to do a recap of the whole score next week just to finish off that segment. But we're going to move on to picking songs from the 70s Aerosmith albums, which means we're going to start off with 1973 Aerosmith next
Fuck
week.
yeah.
Album to go
I'll
to.
bring the Vaseline for the next 8 weeks.
Dave's going to have a
Angle
lot of fun
6.
next week.
I'll bring the
Yeah.
tissues.
I love
Fucking Aerosmith.
this Aerosmith. This is going to be cool.
All right,
yeah.
So we did the one where we thought, okay, cool, we give some love to an overlooked area. Now we're going to go to one that a band that just called it a day, pretty much, for lack of a better
What a
term.
fucking career, though, man. 50
I know,
years
and
plus.
that's why. Go back to the start
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see how they started out and work through that decade. There's about 7 albums, I think, to go through there. Oh, Audio
7 or
Rain
8.
here as well,
6 or
going,
8.
hello, you bloody legends. Love your smiling faces.
Hey!
Coming over to Adelaide to watch us at Amaranth.
Yeah.
Dave, you coming over to Adelaide?
Oh, man, to see you guys in Amaranth.
love to.
Fucking, why aren't you guys doing whole of Australia, man? That would be amazing.
That would be great.
I'm going to see Amaranth on
What?
the 31st. Are they going to be
Like,
there?
Ragdoll
No,
got to
not
do
the Melbourne.
No, Ragdoll got to do all of Yinmi Monstein. Why
Yeah.
did Audio Rain get to do all of Amaranth? That would be cool.
I agree.
But yeah, October
It would be
12th,
cool.
Workmen's Club, Audio Rain, and
Yep.
some other bands. But yeah, I'll try and get to that one.
Nice. There we go. There's some love for that one. All right. So all this being done, now it's time to move on to the Who Am I segment of the show. And it is the person edition now. It was going to be my turn this week, but I've run out of time. For those who don't know, Jodie's actually heading down to Melbourne as of tomorrow to go through and sort some stuff out of storage unit. So this week's been a bit of a compression of trying to get things set up with that, servicing the car.
Does Jodie want to get drunk with me?
You can ask her, man. I don't know.
Jodie knows me. She's been to a party. I'm sure
Yeah,
she'll
she
stay
has.
well fucking clear.
You
You guys left early, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we didn't stay we stayed for a while, but not to conclusion. I think we had something else to get to that weekend as well. It was a bit of a
Yeah.
time. I think it's prepping to move. I don't know. I think we're planning on
I think the last people left at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah,
we're doing.
yeah.
I had something
Me
on it.
and Brent were fucked up and playing like Black Sabbath songs on acoustic guitar, like different songs, but at the same time. It was
Nice.
Uh,
It's like John Bush's new band. Cool.
yeah. I think Sonia's critique was, "I've heard better."
oh well, there you go. Well done,
Wow.
Sonia. Love you to bits if you ever see this one. All your own jumped in, giving us a lot of love. They're saying, we agree, brother. Can you call someone up? I would if I could, man. I would if
Fucking
I could.
yes.
All right, but now it's time to move on to just in time because Kevin turned up. It's time to go on to Who Am I? The person edition. I was going to do a game this week. I can't do it tonight. I'm going to do it for next week. So Belle has been kind enough to have one ready to go as a fill-in.
Belle's a champion.
Without further ado, thank you again for all your work this week because Belle's one that collates all the audience polling and she's also gotten this one ready and done the backup banger. So Belle is the all-star tonight.
And she's super busy, so give her a clap. She's awesome.
Yeah, and Belle's got a lot going on with her.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So
I know.
No thanks.
Appreciate the effort that goes
You
into
get the
it.
thanks,
So
sir.
a big thank you. A big gold star for Belle this week. She is the star of the show this time around. But anyway, with that being said, no pressure. Over to you.
Better be fucking awesome.
No, it is. It always is. Hello,
Now, remember, guys, we get
it's
one guess each. We're out. The audience can do whatever they like. So, yeah, that's where it sits. Remember, guys, one guess.
All right. Who am I? I was born in. Oh, that's Rowan's joke. You can't.
Yeah, I know.
Rehash that.
Shocking.
That's not my guess. I'm not out.
Dress them up and can't take them anywhere.
But I knew that.
You're out. You're out. You're out, Dave. You have to shut up now. Okay. Shall I start? Shall I finish reading question one?
I'll shut up.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll try anyway. I was born in England in 1958. After moving around a lot as a child and even getting expelled from one high school, I eventually ended up at a university in London, during which time oh, fuck off, Dave. You're a dickhead.
Wow.
Yes.
Born in 58.
I just knew I should have pulled out some of these facts, but I thought, no, I've been, no.
Fuck.
Apparently not.
Wow. Dave has spoiled the party. There we
Damn
go.
it. I could have had him on mute.
Well done.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
And guess what, Dave? You beat Kevin. So you beat everyone. No one else got anywhere near it. No one, not even a guest yet in the audience.
Oh,
Dave has everyone
fucking
tonight.
wow.
I'll have to do something much more obscure and fuck Dave up next week, obviously.
Yeah.
Kevin's
Wow.
to Dave. Even Kevin's giving Dave the flowers now, so there's a lot of love going on in this.
I just realised, didn't he had a song on his Tattooed Millionaire about shit. I forgot about that until just then. I'm like, what gave that away? Oh, okay.
Do you know what?
I get it now.
I read his book not that long ago.
Yeah.
He was talking about he got expelled.
Really?
He was a really smart guy, but he was a fucking rebel. He had his own path.
Yeah.
He is an exceptionally smart man. But Belle, you did the work. Please read the other nines. Because
Really, there's a whole lot of stuff that everyone's.
Yeah, please do. Let's go through the rest of
it. Do it.
I'll work through it. All right. So what did he do? He went to London, went to uni, during which time he had stints in several bands, namely Speed, Shots, and Samson. Wasn't sure if Samson was going to be
given it away.
I would have given it away. I had Head Tactics. The album,
Samson, especially.
Yeah, I thought about leaving that out, but no.
Yeah, you didn't want to leave that out.
See, I don't know what people know really. Yeah. So I just put in what I find interesting.
You still haven't. No one's done as bad as I've done, so it's all good. So, I hold the record for the worst Who Am I ever.
I got that Sabbath one even quicker than that.
I know.
This was close though. Shit.
I was released in 1970. Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't even get a sentence out. It was fucked.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild. No, that's. All right, so I recorded 2 albums with Samson before the band began having problems with their record label and also with substance abuse. After playing Samson's last gig at Reading Festival in 1981, I was approached and asked to audition for another band, which was successful, and I promptly went on to become their lead vocalist.
Bruce.
I stayed with
Bruce.
Yes.
That's what he went by.
Yes.
That's
what he was called.
Yeah.
Bruce. Yeah.
No, we're not hiring them. We're not hiring him. He's from them. The manager hated Samson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said basically, if you don't change your name, you're not getting in the band.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're not hiring Bruce. He's from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he just used his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! What am I to? Do we really need to go through this? I'll keep
Yeah,
reading.
we do. You put the
Yes.
work in.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so I stayed with this band for about 10 years, recording 7 studio albums and embarking on several world tours. I then went on to pursue a solo career, recording 5 albums before rejoining my previous band, who I'm still with today. I was once asked to write a song to appear on a slasher film and soundtrack, and a Wasp
Bring
song
your daughter to
appeared
the slaughter.
on the same soundtrack,
Elm Street 5.
which is Elm Street 5. Thank you.
Yep. You didn't have a hope. I would have gotten every single fucking
bonus
question.
points.
Wow. This is remarkable.
Another of my songs also appeared on one of the Chucky movies.
Yes.
Which one, Dave?
Oh, fuck.
Which song and which Chucky?
Ah.
No. I'll keep going and then it comes to
Chucky.
you.
No, no, I don't know this one. Fucking.
It was Bride of Chucky, and it was Trumpets
It's
of
one
Jericho,
away.
Chemical Wedding album.
Trumpets of Jericho.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yep. I said sing. It wasn't Pride. Fuck it.
So it wasn't written for the Chucky movie, but it appeared on the soundtrack.
It was on there, yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those two. It wasn't 1, 2, 3. It wasn't the newer ones. It was out of those two.
Mm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Bride of Chucky's pretty old now. Anyway, I'm getting off track.
Metal just go hand in hand.
A species of Amazonian lizard and Brazilian spider have been named after me.
Yes. I only knew that because of the podcast he does.
Yeah,
I
Dave
really picked the
mentioned
wrong
that.
dude. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Fuck.
Have you not seen this?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I should fall off my chair more often.
Yeah, need to fall off your chair more.
I'll
Dave.
reenact.
Can't make the wall super hard.
Try, you'll hurt yourself. That'll be the problem. Anyway, please.
Right, I'm up to 9. I'm nearly there. I'm the published author of several books and have directed and produced a movie called Chemical Wedding, which is a 2008 supernatural thriller. And if no one got it by that point, then I have a master's degree in history and my hobbies include fencing, brewing beer, and aviation. And the latter of which led me to getting a commercial pilot's license, enabling me to pilot the band's private jumbo jet, Air Force One.
There you
go. Who am I? Bruce Dickinson. Yes.
Well done,
great pick. And you know what a fucking life that guy has lived, man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's fascinating.
When you read his book, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The man has had fucking 5 lives in one lifetime.
I have to read this book, actually. It sounds like a really good read.
It's like it really is. Especially when he's throat cancer, he's going into vivid detail about how they targeted the specific place rather than his voice box to save his career. It's just a remarkable insight into that.
Because there's been some, other artists, other singers have had less success operations on their throats and voice boxes. I mean, they still come back, but I mean, he seems to be, even with age, just as good.
Now. Was it Lebanon that was having some serious crisis? He was one of the pilots that flew in to rescue people to bring them back. Yeah.
Okay.
So all types of shit that he's done.
What a dude.
Yeah.
What a legend.
His podcast is exceptionally intelligent too. He co-hosted with this psychologist guy who's Australian, and they did 2 seasons, and they spoke to everyone from people who operate on hearts to fucking cage fighters to criminals to all different types of people, and just the questions and the insight and the history. Really, it's called Psycho Schizo Espresso. Well worth your time.
I knew it's something with coffee. Yeah.
Psycho Schizo Espresso.
Oh.
I wish they do more because that was fucking every time.
You were raving about that a couple of years ago when you were listening to it.
It really is a really fascinating listen because the guy he co-hosts with is talking about the psychopath spectrum, like the autism spectrum. And someone like Bruce Dickinson is actually a psychopath to be able to get up on stage and perform what he does each night. You have to have that whole mindset, which isn't the norm. It's like the same type of person who operates on somebody and can pull someone's heart out of this chest to remove a cancer behind it and then put the heart back. You have to have that whole ability to cut into another human and not have that thing that most people say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So psychopath doesn't mean
a psychopath doesn't mean that you're like, you're not cutting up your neighbor and drinking their blood.
Yeah.
You just have this thing inside you that makes you deal with things differently than most other humans.
Yeah.
So there's hope for me yet.
There's hope for you yet, man. That's not psychopathic, man.
You and I had about it, and I got the question in one where you thought, "Oh, hang on, that's a dangerous one."
Yeah, that was a whole fucking psychology. Yeah. Well, what was that?
It was the question where a woman.
Yeah, I remember. Like you're at a funeral and you meet somebody. Oh no, I can't really remember. Yeah, fuck. Do you remember it?
It's something like that. It's basically a woman met a guy.
A guy at a funeral.
And she was
and they hit it off.
Yeah.
And so she goes home and she kills her partner.
Why?
So why would you do that?
And you're all stumped, and I got it straight away. Like,
you got it straight away.
The answer is because she wanted to do something that would make her meet that guy again.
Exactly.
Oh, whoa! You got that straight away, Andrew.
Man.
So I was listening to the podcast. This was fucking.
Should we be concerned about Jody?
No, because the reason why I can put myself there is because I grew up around psychotic people, so I know exactly.
So you can just.
Yeah. That's the type of conversations this podcast hosts. The other question, like, if you could go back in time and assassinate Hitler before he rose to power, would you do it?
No.
And Bruce Dickinson's consensus is no, because the circumstances that made this person into what he is would still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, all the good that came out, all the people that came together wouldn't have ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't change however horrible it is.
Yeah.
Does that good outweigh the bad?
That's the thing. That's the morality. That's the type of conversations this podcast has.
Yeah. The trouble is, you don't know what the vacuum would have been left if someone else would have taken over and done maybe worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been better. So you can't.
Yeah. It's a completely endless cycle you go through when you start playing.
Yeah. They did 2 seasons of this thing, and it was fantastic. So yeah, it's on Spotify.
It is on Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go.
Just search for Bruce Dickinson. You'll find it
tonight.
Yeah. Psycho Espresso.
And us diving into psychopathy.
Psychopathy.
Yeah.
Psychotherapy?
No, we don't need. I need that. But anyway.
That's a good road.
Apparently.
Psychosocial.
We do have some audience points to get through quickly. So Michael said, "Did I hear right that Dave gave Bell the clap?"
What?
I don't know how
that
Vinny
sure it didn't happen.
Vinny's having fun here.
Bell, just keep using the ointment. It'll be fine.
Thanks, Bell. Retribution for your top judging tonight. So there's Vinny clapping back. Vinny's also going Bells, Who Am I went down as well as Tony Martin's last album.
Vinny,
might be a bit harsh here. Just don't jack off on your work like Dharma did, and you'll stay on the right side of wrong. There we go.
Oh, Vinny's just like,
hey, consider the product I make. I ain't jacking.
Full metal Vinny, right?
Yeah, we are getting right into the deep and dark of it all tonight. So let's move on to the main event of the evening before we. I don't know what's going to happen next. Let's just move on.
It's dangerous. Dangerous.
We are in dangerous territory here. So in the comments now, I'm going to put 2 songs. First is Black Sabbath Paranoid, and the next up is Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Those are the 2 reference tracks. Remember, everything we're talking about tonight, there is a reference in the description box. So in case you missed this live, you're not with us and you're tuning in later on, go and hit the links in there to check out everything else going on. But tonight is time for round 5 of this season's King of the Riff, which is focused on sophomore albums. Tonight, we have Black Sabbath Paranoid making its return, going up against Metallica, Ride the Lightning. to all-time great albums. I think we all know this one's Black Sabbath is 1970, 8 tracks, 42 minutes, the 8th seed out of 12 for this season. Ride the Lightning from Metallica was 1985 album, 8 tracks, 47 minutes, the first seed. What?
No, I forgot the final. Doesn't matter. It's all good.
So the number one album for this week, or number one album in terms of the voting for the audience, was Metallica Ride the Lightning. So these are two all-time great classics. I think we all know these albums well. But anyway, we're going to throw to Jeff first on this one. In my
drink. Jeff's going to say, I'm getting a drink.
I don't know.
Wow.
Where's the love? Show me the love already. Okay.
Shit.
I'm
We're
here,
going to be
Jeff.
here just for you, Jeff.
We're here.
We will wait with bated breath.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, I do too, actually. This is a tough one.
It is a tough one. I struggled with this, to be honest. Okay. So we got Black Sabbath and Paranoid 1970 versus Ride the Lightning from Metallica in 1984.
84, sorry. I thought 85.
84.
Yeah.
What's that? What did I say?
I said 85, and I'm like, why did I say 85? Because it's 84. I know it's 84.
Yeah, it's
but anyway,
84. 84. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know you said that. Okay. Anyway, look, I've said it before, and honestly, out of all the battles that we've done, I actually seriously think that this one is the hardest one that I've ever done. Seriously. I know I said it before. We've all said it. This one genuinely is.
Yeah, it's tough.
You've got two absolutely iconic albums that both have inspired countless artists and fans in their wake and genres,
Yes.
So both albums are full of emotions, darkness and light. Both albums, well, I was going to go on. I was going to write some more, but let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get straight into this. Okay. So I have to say right up front that I actually have a personal collection with Ride the Lightning. And so I'm biased to some degree, although I will do my best to remain objective, as I always do. So my connection is that when I bought this album back when it was released on Megaforce Records, nobody knew about them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, although it was Megaforce Records, the copy that I had in Canada was actually from Bonsai Records, a distributor for Megaforce.
Wow.
And I can still remember the tape. It was white plastic, and it had black paper label printed on both sides, like A and B, on either side of the tape. So now I knew of Metallica from my buddy Sean. I've mentioned my friend Sean many times. He comes from Canada to visit me. He had a tape of Kill 'Em All. I don't know if it was a mixtape or whatever, but I had heard of them at least. And I think I remember liking them. I don't know. I just remember the name Metallica. So when I was in my record store, my local record store, which I used to go to, I think I had probably $20 in my pocket or $20 to my name, if that. I saw a tape. They used to have a glass case, okay?
Yep.
And all the tapes, just the tapes, were in behind this glass thing. And you had to actually get the manager or somebody to open up and lock. Then they would open it up, and then they put it in. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly
cool.
Right.
Nice.
So, see that. Yeah, you've got the clear one. Mine
Holy
was.
shit.
That's Elektra, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cassettes.
I was way before Elektra, dude. Yeah. But that's cool. But yeah, I don't remember if mine had an insert like that. I just can't remember. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So all these albums were, arranged alphabetically by artist. And I asked the store clerk to open up the case because I had recognized the band name. And this was in the new release case. And so I thought, okay, why not? I'm going to give these guys a go. I like the name. And I literally bought it because I liked the name. Having known a little bit about them from my buddy, but that was just it, right? And from memory, and I've been trying to think, I have no way of if I remember this or not, but because they weren't big, they weren't known really. They probably got some albums in, and they probably thought it would just sit there. There was probably only one copy. I honestly don't know, but I have. I'm just going to say there was just one copy and leave it at that, because they were unknown at this point. This is '84, and I'm of course in Canada. They're from the States, and whatnot. So I paid for it, took it home, and I could not believe what I was listening to. I remember thinking, "Wow, this is heavy." Heavier probably than anything I'd ever heard, to be honest, in all fairness. But I thought it was cool. I listened to it, and then I took it to school. This is 1984. I was in grade 9. Grade 9 is the start of high school in Canada, not grade 7 like it is here. So I went to a Catholic school where you wear black slacks, white shirt, and a blue blazer. No exceptions. This was the school colors and the uniform. And I had some friends that were already in the school, and so I was allowed, because I knew them, they were older than me. I was allowed into the seniors lounge where teachers weren't even allowed. Okay. There was a stereo in there. There was couches, tables, people would go in there. I would often skip class, go into the lounge with my mixtapes, whatever. And people thought I was cool because I played cool music. And I would sit there and read books as well. And people thought, based on my music taste and, I was reading at the time, whatever it was, that was kind of cool. So I made some friends that way as well.
Nice.
So this is where I introduced an entire school, and I swear I did, to Metallica. It wasn't long before people would hear it playing, not knowing who it was, and ask me. And then I started making copies and bringing them in and giving copies of Ride the Lightning to people.
Jeff, the original Napster.
I was the original Napster. I was.
Jetstar.
But anyway, people who knew me, they thought I was cool because I was doing this. Anyway, so that's my personal connection. I don't have any personal connection to the band, but I think I really did introduce Metallica to that school. So I listened to this album more times than I can count. This was when, I honestly think that this album is still one of my favorite albums, not just from Metallica, but from anybody. It's that good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to break things down by the song or the production value, which is great. We all know this album. Everybody knows this album to death, or at least you should. The differences between Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning are vast. And in many ways, what was produced on Ride makes the music from Kill 'Em All almost sound like a different band. And I think that's because of the impact of the producer, Flemming Rasmussen.
Yes.
I think that he brought something to the band that didn't exist. I think this is one of the greatest metal albums ever made by anyone, hands down. And you're free not to agree with me, but you would be wrong. Now,
nice.
while they did not invent thrash metal, they perfected it with this album. Standout tracks, all of them. In my opinion, this is a perfect album, and therefore it would be impossible to improve it. It would also be impossible to not give this album 10 shots. Paranoid. What can I say about this album that hasn't already been said by all of us? Just a few weeks ago, we reviewed it when it went up against HZed. And so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to say that Paranoid is an iconic album. It helped create a genre, heavy metal itself, really. It had a massive impact on the world of music, a level that can never really truly be measured. It is a fantastic album, and I believe it is required listening to anyone, especially someone who likes heavy metal or someone who wants to explore its roots. Therefore, it too gets a full 10 shots from me. So the whole point of these battles is to showcase the difficulty in making a great second album. The Sophomore album is particularly difficult to do simply because you have your entire life to create that first album. A great second album has to not only live up to, but has to, be at least equal the impact of the first album in order to be truly great. It should actually, if it, really, it'd be great if it exceeded that. A lot of bands do that. And that's exactly what we have here. And as I said before, I really believe that this was the hardest battle that we've had so far, in my opinion, just for me anyway. And so the only way that I can separate these two iconic albums is to pick the album which I reach for more often, because it scratches every itch for me. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's atmospheric, it's emotional, it's got light and dark, provoking lyrics. Even the song titles are provoking. You read the song title and you go, wow, and that starts getting something, turning in your head. And so I think this album, in particular, the one I'm going to choose, not to throw shade on the other album, which I'm not choosing, but the album for me that has it all, that does it all, ticks every box, I think it's the album that I would listen to and reach for more often. Has to be, without a doubt, Ride the Lightning.
Yep.
Ooh,
There we
wasn't
go.
expecting that.
One down.
Wow.
Well,
nice, Jeff.
Belle, you
Thanks.
said you weren't expecting it. Now you get to give us your thoughts. So,
All right, Belle, go.
Oh, look, just a few short points from me because there's a few reasons, but anyway, well, I'll just keep it short. I talked about Paranoid, last time, and my Black Sabbath Aussie desensitization journey, and we've all been on that ride with me, and it's been fun. So I won't go into that again, other than to say that I genuinely enjoyed listening to Paranoid this week.
Wow, that's cool. That's a fair change.
I really enjoyed it, and there are only like a few winces here and there when Ozzy's vocals kind of just grated on my nerves, but for the most part, like I would say that I quite loved it.
Nice.
I really did.
Becoming a fan.
I am.
Belle likes Ozzy.
I don't like Ozzy.
Belle likes Ozzy.
No.
Belle likes Ozzy. Belle likes Ozzy.
Black Sabbath. All Black Sabbath. I like all Black Sabbath.
And Ozzy sitting in a tree.
Sharon!
Sorry, I had to. It was right
Sharon,
there.
I would not want to mess with her. She's horrendous.
She's a bitch.
It would be worth it anyway, but fuck that. Dealing with her.
Ozzy would be too stoned to do anything anyway. So it's okay.
Yeah, I know. He's got a limp biscuit, I'm sure. No, I things like that. He might be into the blue pills at least.
He ain't breaking stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Look, Jeff is sitting there with his Aussie shirt, just with this look on his face, like, can we just kind of move on here?
Can we be mature, for Christ's sakes? With a hard rock show, let's be mature.
Let's be professional.
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning.
Yes.
Let's move on to Ride the Lightning. Now, look.
Matchies. Well,
nice.
Mine's faster than yours.
Oh, here we go.
I've had this for a very, very long time. This was possibly the first album I ever bought was Master of Puppets. And I can't remember. My second was either this or And Justice for All. So my first three were Metallica albums. Now, anyone that grew up in Melbourne probably has one of these sleeves or maybe more sitting around in their album collection.
Yeah.
I got a few of these. Oh, that place was fantastic. And
fucking yes, it was.
I've replaced all of my sleeves except for the ones with these guys on there because it's just such a
I went to a school excursion once and we fucked off and went to Metal for Melbourne.
Greta, you ever see this? You've created one hell of a legacy.
Greta,
yes,
well done.
Such great memories. I love that place. I loved it. I used to drag my little sister there every chance I could get because I wasn't allowed to go into the city alone. So anyway, look, likewise with Ride the Lightning, I won't go into the ins and outs of this album because everyone knows it and everyone has their own, story, such as Jeff, and their own opinions. Like all of my colleagues here. Personally, I think that this album set the bar for metal greatness for everyone and for themselves. And Metallica, went above that bar on their very next album. I know some may not agree, but that's just everyone has their ranking of Metallica albums, especially the first four.
Or even five.
Or five, yes, that's true. Look, other bands have not achieved such greatness.
Lucky if you get
but
one of their albums in your career.
It's a tall order to achieve more greatness than this. I know Metallica had a few influences, and I know that Black Sabbath was one of them.
Yep.
And you could say that possibly without Black Sabbath's Paranoid, Metallica's Ride the Lightning wouldn't sound quite the same as
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning sounds. Who knows, really? But so while I might be able to thank Black Sabbath in part for Ride the Lightning, that thanks does not extend to being obligated to choose Paranoid over this. This will definitely be my go-to, every day of the week. So it's my pick.
Sweet.
Good job. Yep.
There we go.
Hey, but Belle, do you know about the story when Metallica and Ozzy first toured together? Have you heard that one?
I have not.
Okay, so they
You
did the
gonna tell
entire tour, and they, like, from what I heard, they didn't meet. Metallica
So
were too intimidated.
When was this? When
86. It was on the Puppets tour, and it was the Ultimate Sin. Okay, so they did the entire tour, and Metallica were too intimidated to go and approach Ozzy because he's like fucking God. And Ozzy thought they were taking the piss out of him because at their sound check they would sound check Paranoid. And then on like the last week, they approached each other and they actually did a sound check of Ozzy singing fucking Paranoid with Metallica playing, and that was the first time they met. And it's just like these young kids were too fucking intimidated to go and see the metal rock god.
Yeah.
And Ozzy thought that they were taking the piss out of him because they kept sound checking Paranoid.
Wow.
So the entire fucking tour. That's the story I heard like years ago.
Is this like all over the States? Like how long was the tour?
Yeah, they did a long fucking tour for Master of Puppets. They opened for Ozzy.
It's pretty
Ozzy
much
was
broke
gone.
Metallica. That's right.
That was
it's in
like
the documentary.
year.
Don't Blame Me from Ozzy. If you want to watch
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the 30th anniversary shows that Metallica did, Ozzy turns up to guest for them.
Yeah.
No, role reversal. But fucking
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
They were too scared.
They were.
Like you gotta remember, like Metallica weren't like the gods that they are now. They were just like we're the new guys in the scene. And Ozzy's fucking Ozzy.
It just seems like you're playing in the same venue every night. You're touring together. Maybe
Ozzy had a mistake
buses,
that was unlike any other.
The whole thing about Metallica, it all comes down to one day on what Lars Ulrich was wearing. He had a backpack or a shirt. I can't remember what it was. If it was back patch on his jacket or a shirt. And it just so happened that a guy saw him wearing a Saxon shirt. He approached him, and that got Lars. That was the guy who created Metal Blade Records, who put Metallica on the Metal for Mothers or whatever it was. Had it not come down to then Lars wearing that shirt, that meeting never would have happened.
That was and you wouldn't have
been on that album, and they may have never gotten signed.
Yeah.
These fucking stories are amazing.
Yeah.
Different time.
And the retrospect stories as well, because like a couple of years ago with the Black Album 30th anniversary, there was a podcast. It's still on Spotify, but the Black Album podcast that goes over the production and then the fans and the legacy and everything. And everyone's seen the Moscow show where they played Moscow. Fucking like over 1 million people.
Yeah.
Okay. The day before, they've got Zach? Fucking Rob Helfand, the famous photographer. They did a photo shoot in Moscow Town Square. 1992 or 91, James Hetfield is like the metal god, and we don't know him then as being the vulnerable guy who went through the therapy. He had a panic attack. He had to go fuck. He didn't feel he belonged there. Less than 24 hours before playing that fucking Moscow show in front of 1 million people, he had to go hide. He couldn't do a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The stories you hear now about him are fucking crazy. And it's amazing that he just stuck
he would never have. Yeah, he would never have admitted that then.
He wouldn't have. You couldn't back then. There's no way.
Yeah.
As like a 28, 29-year-old kid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he helped break down a lot of the boundaries with what he did around the San Diego times. But and it's cool that you can talk about it and see a different perspective because my God, that show is fucking insane.
Phenomenal. Yep.
Sounded great too.
We're going to intercede. Dave, your thoughts on this battle?
Okay, fuck. I get to talk about Metallica and Black Sabbath. Okay. This plays on 44. This is a double. You get 2 songs on each side. It's amazing. And you got Black Sabbath Paranoid. You know, 2 of the best fucking metal albums ever released. I showed my cassette. I held on to this. I had a lot of cassettes, but this is the only one that I got on CD, vinyl, cassette, and tab book. It's a shame the tab book is wrong. Yeah. Okay, you might have seen me grabbing stuff on the side when Jeff was talking. When he was talking, it made me think about something. And I'm a massive bootleg collector. And this show, yeah, that's nuts.
We got a pad for you there.
Yeah, I go. Okay, this show is from December 18, 1983. Ride the Lightning, I Googled, came out in July 27, 1984.
Yeah.
On this show, they play Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, Call of Cthulhu, Creeping Death, along with a lot of shit from Kill 'Em All. So the reason, well, not the reason, but they road tested a lot of these songs before they even went in the studio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Compared to modern times, there's no way. You might get 1 song, maybe 2, that's already been released from an upcoming album if a band is touring. Bands don't release songs and road test them. It's a different entity. And I kind of miss that because, you know, if it works live, then you know you got a cool song. You can't just sit in the studio. Like Saint Anger is an example of that. Pro Tools, it's cut and paste. Yeah. Those songs became better as they toured them. So it's a different world. Okay. Black Sabbath, Paranoid versus Metallica, Ride the Lightning. I wasn't going to write or talk much about this, but I can't help it because they're 2 fucking great albums. Ended up being a lot more than I thought. This is a fucking awesome battle. They're both legendary bands, both legendary albums. Even, you know those books and those lists of like 100 albums you have to hear before you die? Even if you're not a fan of metal or rock, these albums are undeniable. They will be in those fucking lists because they're absolute beasts. Even if you don't like these bands, you know their fucking names.
Yeah.
If you don't know these albums or these bands, you're probably watching the wrong show.
Yeah.
Both sound fantastic, even to this day.
Welcome to the party. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you're going to learn some shit. If you can decipher what I say after drinking all the Christmas medicinals.
You're doing good, man. Spirit.
Like the alcohol system's getting dire. There's like this little tiny bit of the LD Red and the brandy's almost gone. Fuck. Okay. Both of these albums are still discovered multiple years, multiple decades after new generations, new musicians. Themes and lyrical content are just as relevant and important today as they were then, probably even more so today. Both these albums are the soundtrack to my early years in high school. 30 years ago, I'm 14. If you walked into my room, chances are I was listening to either one of these albums. Chances are I told you to get the fuck out, leave me the fuck alone. Or I was spending hours learning these songs, learning to play them on guitar, looking over the album covers or reading interviews in Hot Metal magazine or Kerrang or whatever was out, whatever I could afford to buy. I was probably learning Metallica riffs while listening to Black Sabbath, or I was probably learning Black Sabbath riffs while listening to Metallica. These albums were like the fucking soundtrack to my adolescence. I was a weird kid in school. I was the one accused of being a Satanist and killing cats and everything. But yeah, fuck you, you trendy motherfuckers. These days, I put the playlist on Monday, last Monday.
Yeah.
While making school lunches and getting dinner ready. 10 seconds.
Domesticated Dave.
Domesticated Dave. I scroll up pretty well. What can I say? I gotta do what I gotta do.
That's
10 seconds in the War Pigs coming on. My daughter Jade walks into the kitchen. She says, "I've been summoned." She recognized that song straight away. I've been summoned.
That is fantastic.
She is so fantastic. Cool. For context, my daughter had a plain clothes day at high school today. She rocked up in her jeans, her Måneskin grey t-shirt, and her battle jacket with all the patches on. hoping that people would pick on her. And the only person that picked on her was somebody who mentioned that they wouldn't marry her because she had glasses. She's like, come on, bring it.
What a dickhead.
I know. But she saw the movie Metal Lords a few weeks ago, and the song War Pigs features very heavily in that movie. And it's awesome how these songs never get old, never get tired, and you can follow trends, and that music and shit will just die out, and it ages very quickly. But if you're true to yourself and keep it real, it just transcends generations. And the similarities between Jade at 13 to between when I was 13, it's like there wasn't 40 years in between. It is so awesome to see this comparison. Okay, to be honest, Black Sabbath probably meant more to me then than compared to Jade, but she is aware of them and she loves what she has heard so far. The Paranoid album is nothing short of timeless and nothing short of fucking brilliant. You get different tempos, different moods, sudden changes within the songs, and it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel cut and paste. It doesn't feel like we got to change just for the sake of it. It's like, okay, now we're going to a heavy part. Now we're going to a slow, doomy part. Hands of Doom, my God, that shit is fucking cool. You get killer riffs, awesome swing, and feels of the drums. Bill Ward is an absolute beast. The buzzing bass lines, and you get Ozzy fucking Osbourne. My God, he was God back then. He still is. Those four guys should not have been friends. They were all so different if you read the biographies, if you know the stories. They were a recipe for disaster and success.
Yeah.
I mean, when you read the stories about how you had Satanists outside each individual hotel room all chanting, and they synchronized their watches and opened their doors and blew out the candle and sung Happy Birthday at the same time. It's fucking gold.
Yeah, I mean, Ozzy used to stand out in the line. There'd be people, Christians, right? And he'd go out wearing a different costume, and he'd be standing there, listening to these people going, "They're fucking gonna kill Ozzy" and all this shit. And he'd be standing going, "Right, man, you know,
kill that motherfucker."
Yeah, not. They had no idea they're standing beside Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh man, it's really fucking awesome to hang out with back in the day.
Trolling before the internet.
Yeah.
Okay. Keeping in mind the personalities of the four guys involved, the creativity and the limitations enforced upon Tony Iommi because of his injury and missing the tips of his hands, having to shave down the frets of his guitar and restring them and everything, and he created this amazing sound. The deck was stacked against these individuals from the start, but they made it work and they changed the course of metal and music for the better.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Electric Funeral is one of the heaviest and sickest guitar riffs of all fucking time. My God, that is cool. I could not even begin to guess how many times I've listened to this album. It'll never get old. The amount of times I've been drunk at 1 a.m. with my oldest mate in the world. We get out the acoustic guitars and Paranoid and Iron Man always get a run through. But so does For Whom the Bell Tolls. And a lot of Metallica stuff. You know, it's always the go-to shit, the stuff you learn when you were young. Metallica, probably more so than Sabbath. I spent hours, months, years learning to play Metallica songs. I am still working on some of this stuff to this day, and thank you, YouTube, because people are fucking incredible to the point where you are slowing video concert footage down to check out where James's hands are, and actual album recordings, you're slowing them down to try and figure out the accurate tabs because those books are fucked. This album was a religion, an obsession, the antidote to the normal cunts who went from trend to trend and just fucking followed what everybody else was doing. This was the perfect stuff for the weird kid at 14 in the 90s. I didn't care. If you're comparing Kill 'Em All to this album, they obviously improved upon everything that they could do. Songwriting, performances, they were faster, more focused. They're all bootleg. They had 6 months to road test these songs. Listening to this album while making spaghetti bolognese on Monday was dangerous. It was hard enough cutting up the vegetables while listening to Black Sabbath, stirring the pasta and lighting the fucking stove while listening to Fight Fire with Fire. That's it. Head banging while that shit's happening is just stupid.
Oh my God.
But that's the thing, this album is so fucking infectious, and it's a lifetime thing, man. Whether you're 14 or you're 44 and your daughter is 13 and she's liking this shit as well, this is just timeless stuff. Fuck the trends. Fuck whatever else happens.
Yeah.
My God, this is just people being themselves and being the best they can. As far as Metallica goes, fast, melodic, engaging song structure, different tempos and moods. The album flows from one awesome track to the next, and when it's done, you just want to put it on again or move into Master of Puppets. And once again, they progress even more. Fuck. Earlier today, I was thinking, there's nothing else I could possibly say about either of these albums that would be even remotely interesting. But then it suddenly hit me. Fight Fire with Fire, Trapped Under Ice, Call of Cthulhu opens with Sound of Wind. It's almost the 4 fucking elements, the natural elements of the world. Like, is that intentional? Or I know that Creeping Death was inspired by James watching one of those old biblical MGM movies and seeing the whole
the Ten Commandments. Yeah.
The Ten Commandments, yeah. So he was very switched on, and for a guy in his early 20s, he was exceptionally aware of the world and for all the shit he went through. So, he was a fucking very exceptional guy. And I spent like thinking about 3 hours one night with a metronome learning to play Creeping Death. Just I started on like 60 beats per minute. It's at 184, and at 60, I went up with 2 beat increments for 3 fucking hours. That was a weird feeling. Putting the guitar down after that. And that's the type of intense shit that you have to be to learn how to play this shit properly. You can't. It's not just cut and paste. It's a really, really close pick this week because both of these bands are exceptionally important to the world of metal. It's exceptionally important to me. I was simply going to go with the band that means the most to me after all these years, even to this day. And that's Metallica. It's got to be Metallica.
Well played.
Well done.
That gives us a winner, but we do have to get through the rest. I'll quickly go through my thoughts here. I don't have too much more to add than what's already been said by all 3 of you so well. So thank you so much for doing what you've done tonight. You've done a great thing there. Now, it's been said this is a battle of 2 all-time greats. I think that's pretty well established at this point in time. Both rightly and firmly have claims to the crown in this series. I think you can say that one album started it all. We can make an argument for the other one sort of taking that whole thing a step further. So, you can say that Sabbath started it, but Metallica raised the bar. We already had Paranoid. We don't need to go too much into detail of that. Obviously, we did it a few weeks back when it went up against AC/DC. But, so the question on this one was, how does Ride the Lightning stack up compared to Paranoid? It's interesting. In pure sonics, just in the sonics and the mixing of it all, both mixes have sort of strengths and weaknesses but both are still fantastic to listen to in 2024. Like, I think Sabbath probably sounds warmer, but the bite that comes from Metallica is unlike anything else as well. So you got 2 different sounds, different styles going on here. They're stylistically very different albums. I find it interesting that there's a certain riff in Fairies Wear Boots and a riff in For Whom the Bell Tolls that are both very similar to each other. Anyway.
Yeah.
Listen to both those songs.
You can hear the influence all through Metallica.
That's it. And that's not a bad thing.
And props to Sabbath for calling the Hells Angels a bunch of fairies.
Yeah, well, that's it. But both these albums have great variety. They take you on a journey. Sabbath is probably a bit simpler and catchier in the grand scheme of things. It may also have the better hooks by comparison. But Metallica is definitely more aggressive and more intense overall. As such, both have their own unique strengths and weaknesses to bring to this one, none of which detract from either listen. It's just pure observation. And it's all to show that this is not an easy choice to make because they're both neck and neck because they're different albums, but they both have the same impact on you when you listen to them. They both aren't afraid of their softer side. You have Planet Caravan, for example, on Paranoid, and you have Fade to Black on Ride the Lightning. But you have also the iconic upbeat side of things too. So you've got Paranoid is one on the title track, obviously, from the album. But then you have For Whom the Bell Tolls, which has been referenced a few times here tonight as well. That's an all-time song for me. That people that know me well know how much that song means to me as a person.
Yeah. Dude, we're gonna jam that one day.
We should, man. We really, really should.
Yeah.
the thing is that ultimately you can go round and around singing the praises of both these albums, but eventually you got to make a call, and that's where this sort of comes down to. Interestingly, for me, I was the only one that voted AC/DC over Paranoid last time around, and so in some respects, this comes down to, okay, in that battle, if I put AC/DC above Paranoid, does Ride the Lightning then beat AC/DC? And if that's the case, well, then isn't this a clear decision to make? Funny thing is that your point of view has changed the more time you spend with things, listening to them back to back. So it's not just as cut and dry than that. But when you break things down in the analysis of stuff, the pitfalls that I did find with Paranoid last time around, they're still there, but they're not as noticeable this time around as they were last time. But they're still there for a little bit. But at the same time, like, it's undeniable, isn't it? For me, as an abrupt sort of end to the whole thing, I just gonna go with Metallica. I have to. It's one of those things where I've listened to both these albums ad nauseum, and Metallica, I spent forever learning Paranoid and a few other riffs from an Iron Man, all that kind of stuff from Paranoid. But at the same time, I probably spent more time when I was playing and teaching guitar. That's the thing too, is when I was teaching guitar, I was teaching more Metallica than I was Black Sabbath. And this is like a long time ago too.
Everyone wanted to learn Metallica from the 90s onwards.
And so for me, a song like Bells alone is enough, but there's other memories for this album and for this band that are touchstones for me in particular. Seeing them play things like Creeping Death live in Germany was a fucking wow moment. Like, I'll never, ever forget that. That was just such a... You had to be there kind of thing. It was just it was almost like the whole proverbial religious experience. This whole fucking crowd just going, die, die, die. And that whole... It was just amazing. And it was not like an outdoor arena. It was like an enclosed bowl. The vibe was fucking off the hook. Like, you felt the place was going to fall apart. The rumble was that intense. And it's just one of those things where I love both these albums, but it does come down to your personal choice. And yeah, for me, I love them both, but at the same time, there's one that just speaks to me as a person more, was a bigger part of my journey overall. And to me, honestly, still... due to the complexity, like, this band at this point in their career had no business writing songs this complex, especially when you listen to the debut. Like, you put those two albums back to back and it's like, whoa, these guys went fucking wow. Like, they took the exit ramp to the moon. Like, they just went, and they were not coming back for a very long time. And I just think that if you want to take that into account as well, the leap from the first Sabbath to the second Sabbath is nowhere near as big as the leap between Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, and then you get after that, it goes on. But both great albums. But for me, it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not an easy call, because you listen to both. You could go either way and be happy. I think the audience vote reflects
both
that.
Albums are fucking amazing.
Take nothing away from Paranoid. Take nothing away from Paranoid.
Do you know what though? We've done so many battles, and there's been so many sides that people take. In this case, it's more like Sabbath are like the proud parent. Yeah, and you've done the best that you can with everything you've had. Yeah, and then your child has gone on to be something better than you could ever possibly be. Yep, and you're actually proud of that. So taking nothing away from Sabbath, you created this world. Metallica build upon it, and you should be nothing but proud of that. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
A note on that here, it says here, Paranoid is fantastic, nothing away from, but as an overall constant album, I'm going to say Ride the Lightning took what arguably Paranoid started and improved upon the original. So it's the same point of view you got there.
Absolutely.
And out of these two, dare I say that Ride the Lightning just lights me up a bit more than the other one. From beginning to end, I'm locked in on that one. So for me, Metallica, Ride the Lightning, which makes it a sweep. I don't know if you got Conrad's pick or not, Jeff.
No.
No, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because it was 4-0, so it doesn't matter. The funny thing is that even though we've gone 4-0, we've all sung the praises of both albums and noted how tight a battle it is. That's reflected in the audience choice. So just because we've all gone a unanimous vote doesn't make this an easy call. And the audience, I think, had the same decision to make that we did, because it was by literally 4 votes was the difference between the two albums. We went with the audience this time around. So Metallica is the winner for us and for the audience. But it shows you how close it is when the number 1 seed goes up against, what was it, the number 8 seed, and it's only 4 votes.
Wow.
So number 1 versus number 8, 4 votes split them. So that shows you how tight this whole thing. plays out, and it goes to Metallica. So Metallica for us, Metallica for the audience. Next week, I've got an audience comments. Go to those in a second. We'll start wrapping this up because we're going to run out. We're running over time now. But quickly, next week is going to be interesting. So for us, on the show, it's Skid Row, Slave to the Grind versus Dream Theater, Images and Words. The audience went different. So the audience gets Skid Row versus Rainbow Rising. So, Belle, you know which artwork you're making now. So,
okay.
Oh, man.
So for us,
next week's going to be fucking interesting.
It is 2 very different albums in both cases, actually, to be honest. So for us,
both were Canadian singers.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Both were Canadian singers.
Canadian singers.
Yeah, good point.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week for the audience vote, it's Skid Row versus Rainbow Rising. So we'll see if we do bring ourselves back to the same path again, or if we're going to keep going back to the split tree. It's going to be interesting. All right, final comments here before we get out of here. Kevin says, this one was a close call. I think if it was third albums, it was Master Puppets against Master of Reality, it would have been a harder pick. Anyway, I go with Ride the Lightning. So Kevin's gone Ride the Lightning. As a context in the conversation earlier on, Brian Slager was the Metal Blade guy. He had a lot to do with Armored Saint as well. That is very true.
Yes, he did.
Indeed, he did. Yep.
Now, John Bush was almost the original Metallica singer because James was going to be rhythm. Yeah.
Almost. Vinny says, this was a cruel battle overall. I'd rather watch Jeff Floss's Bluetooth loofah in action than for the length of a THRS stream. Wow. Vinny, you're on a tear tonight.
Ouch, man. That's fucking brutal.
Hey, man.
Kevin followed up by saying, to Dave's point, I got to see Metallica form Harvester of Sorrow live in early 88, and Justice for All did not come until late August.
They did that a lot.
Cool.
By the way, Harvester of Sorrow live kicks fucking ass, man. It's so good. All right, Audio Rain says you're a model dad, Dave. So there we go. There's some love for Dave's parenting, which I wholeheartedly agree with.
Man.
Craig says Paranoid for the win. Hey, hey, peeps. Good to see you, Craig. Thanks for jumping in a bit late in the piece. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't go your way. But it was a tight battle despite the actual overall result. Tough. Good to see you. Manowar was on Metal when I was 13. How do peeps playing some catch up on my fave show? Hope it all going epically well with you all. Thank you very much for jumping in, saying hi.
Thanks,
good to see you, and thanks for sharing your love with one of your favorite bands. It's always good to see those coming through as well. What do we got here? Tough says you could have gone on till the sun burns out talking about these bands, but if it was stranded on an island and had one choice between these bands, I'd choose a boat. I couldn't resist. Metallica, it might have inspired me to get my shit together and make my own Tough Sneezer Island. Wow, there we go. So I think that Metallica would definitely sort of fire up to get things going on. Sparksy has gone Avenged Sevenfold and Metallica have to be my top 2. Wow, that's a interesting. Wow, that's a discussion. But Tough's gone. It was bloody hard. This is becoming like school. I got to do homework. It is a bit like that. Yeah.
Yes.
What do we got here? Stephen, good to see you. He's gone in. G'day, guys, and Belle. Hope you're all great. Belle Toll's greatest metal-based intro of all time. I agree. My personal all-time favorite Metallica song. That is one of the all-time most put down. Good to see you, Stephen. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi.
Such a fucking fun song to play.
Like seeing some new faces jump in. So awesome to see you. Thanks for jumping in. But now we're going to move on because we do have to get out of here. We are running late now. So let's get on with it. Time for the win and bin segment of the week quickly. Jeff, let's go to you. What have you got for a win and or a bin?
Nothing. Got nothing.
All right.
My life is boring. Yeah.
Oh,
easy done.
jeez. You should have bought an Uber
I
Eats.
got to win. I bought a book. Dave, have you read this book?
Okay, got a book.
Where is it? Lifting Shadows of a Dream.
Dream Theater.
Do you know what? I might
authorized
have the
biography.
original version. I think I got the
Different
original version of that. It was just a plain red cover.
Yeah.
Is there like a bunch of acknowledgements in the back?
I haven't read it yet. No.
Jeff gets a spoiler on the final page.
My God,
No?
I don't want to read it. No,
Okay, okay.
No, I don't think so.
If it recreates the original, then my fucking name is in the back.
Oh, well.
Okay. And Andrew, who's next?
I was going to go to Belle next, unless you want to jump in.
Go.
All right, Belle.
He's gonna
Wow.
grab it.
He's going to go find his book. Yeah.
All right. I've got 2 bins tonight, sadly. And the first one would be the little pea-plater fucker that decided to park their tiny little Mazda 2 right up close to my door, my driver's side door in the car park. I don't know, I was at Woolies getting some stuff on the way home from work.
Yeah.
The Mazda 2, they're tiny. They're tiny, teeny little things. And they parked right over, like, some, you know, you can kind of squeeze in if cars are kind of a bit too close. There was no way I was squeezing in here. Thankfully, I was parked at the end of a row. So I had to climb in the passenger door and clamber over. And I don't know if you've done that, but it's fucking awkward and painful. Clamber over and get myself in. And that was fine. But, like, just learn how to park. So that really annoyed me. And my other bin is my ongoing saga with, I got my wisdom teeth out, like, it was like 6 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, it's a while ago now.
Yeah, and I've still got, like, I've been in to see the surgeon and he kind of, there's like a problem and there's like a lump and it's painful and there's something not right. Like, there's something there that keeps getting, it's like, something needs to come out. So I got to go back and see him, and that's Monday afternoon, and he's going to, like, inject me with, like, anesthetic and cut and try and get whatever the cause is out. And I'm just done with it. Like, so that's my 2 bins. That has what
good
has
luck,
annoyed
Belle,
me this
for Monday.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope it goes well, Belle. Seriously.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
All the best. Genuinely. If there's anything you need, make sure you let us know, as always.
I will.
It's all happening at once, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah.
And she still does stuff for the show.
I know. She's an absolute genuine trooper this week in particular.
Absolutely.
She is every week, but this week she's really stepping up. So appreciate
it.
Thank you, Belle.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
It is.
Jeff, just quickly, sorry, I know I'm trying to keep us moving along here. Jeff, you said you had a win before. What was your win? You brought up the book, and that's where it
That was
stopped.
it. That's it. I bought a book. I got nothing.
That's a great
My life
win.
is so shit. Yeah, I bought a book.
That's right. A book is a win. Yeah. All right, Dave, over to you.
Okay, I bolted. Jeff, I don't know if this is the same thing. You said Lifting Shadows?
The author is Rich Wilson. Is that?
Rich Wilson? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I got the. I actually brought this before it was a thing, and in doing so, I got my name in the back, which I'm not going to show because it's my actual real name.
Yeah.
So fuck you people, you don't get to find out.
I know.
But this came with like a greatest hit CD and everything. You get the pitch, you get the words, the story, and the images, which is fantastic. So it's a great little book, but yeah, it's one of my little rarity collections. Right, a bin or a win? I don't have anything planned. I'm going to bin excessive homework because that's all my daughter seems to get to do these days, and she's a trooper. She's doing it.
Wow.
She's getting tired and everything. She's sick of it, but she's plowing for it. But my God, she's in grade 7. For fuck's sake, people. It hasn't changed since my day. And you know what? Back in my day, I just stopped doing it. I gave up. Yeah. But you would think that they would like lighten up a little bit because you think too much of the
system might learn, but that won't happen.
Yeah. and like orientation and all the stuff we learned at the end of last year going into it, I thought that I was impressed because they did seem to take a lot of things on board, but classes aren't talking to each other. So you get one class gives you homework, another class gives you homework, and it's due the next day. So it's fucked. Got a plan. I know you got lesson plans, and you need to get a certain amount of stuff into the kids' heads. You got to coordinate with the other classes as well. You need to give kids a life, especially in year 7. You're still transitioning from grade 6, so excessive homework can get in the bin.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Homework itself is just, it's in fact the places in Europe that they have cut it out.
Exactly.
How the kids are more productive without it.
Yeah.
It's
just silly.
It's
a redundant exercise as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I don't understand the point at all. For mine, education system can have a complete overhaul. But anyway.
Yes, it can.
It can be a studs up rebuild, the whole fucking thing. My win and bin this week. My bin, to get a little serious for a second, which I don't like doing, but I'm going to do it this week. Linda Reynolds, the senator for Australia. You fucking absolute cow. You're suing a rape victim twice. Go fuck yourself.
What?
I'll fill you guys in when we get off the stream. It's just a complete shit show. A former senator of this nation is suing someone who, while she was employed by you, was found to have been raped by a co-worker. Go fuck yourself for suing that person twice. I don't give a fuck about your defamation. Jesus, what the fuck are you thinking as a human being? Fuck off.
Wow.
But my win, to make things a little more, you guys are going to hate me for this, but up here in the northern states, it's definitely getting warmer. So the warmer weather.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
No, that's I don't care. I like cold.
Well, you can have the cold. I'm enjoying the warm weather right now because we did have actually quite a cold snap, getting down to like very low degrees overnight. So getting down to like 2 degrees or whatever else overnight, which is I didn't expect that coming up here. So Nicole, you were right.
It's been -0 in the mornings when I gotten up for work in like a month ago. So
yeah, well, yeah, we got a cold snap that was seeing me drive. I'm in Queensland, driving through the hills, and it's like 2 degrees in the car. So I was like,
Wow,
unusual.
Fuck that.
yeah.
So there you go. So we've gotten through that cold
I don't
snap
even
now.
get that cold here.
Yeah, but then the flip side is that now that because where we live, you can sort of really see the shifts in the sun and the moon patterns where it falls across the sky each day. It's really obvious when it moves and starts to. You can see the cycle changing now, not only with the weather itself, but the way the sun goes across the sky, and that you can see the weather is really starting to get into the warmer phase of the year. So I was like, okay, cool. Not necessarily looking forward to summer, but this temperature right now, it's really nice and comfortable, and it's already there. And it's like, okay, cool. That was a nice brief winter. Off we go, kind of thing. So I'm just going to put it. It's a win for me to be, especially with other issues in my past where I'm in less pain when it's warm, so it's much more comfortable. I've gotten through a winter without needing to mind how much I can or can't put weight on my left leg. So that's a win for me. So I'm going to take it where I can. Being able to get up in the morning no matter what and walk properly is something I haven't experienced for a few years. So it's nice. I'm going to take the win where I can in that regard. So that's it. Very straightforward, nice and simple. Let's get the final audience comments in here to get this show done and dusted. Benito's gone. They usually put the acknowledgements in the back, Dave. Oh, yes, that's true. Guru, you put some sort of ASCII thing in here. I can't pull it up. I'm not even going to try to, so I apologize for not bringing that comment up. Brett has gone, oh, here we go. This is Jeff's idea. When are you guys going to do the one chip challenge? That would be hilarious and get you thousands of views. Not happening.
No.
I just learned what it is.
You
I'll
figured out
do
what
it.
Yeah. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it.
I'm not in the bar.
You're agreeing to do it, Dave, without knowing what it is. Is that right?
I'm brave.
Dave, what it is
wow.
It involves a chip. I know. It's one chip.
It's a chip. It's like the hottest chip in the world, basically, and you eat it.
Yeah.
You don't understand
one chip is
how
enough.
hot
One
things
chip is
can
enough.
get. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try. That's what makes me fucking
It's like 10 million on the Scoville.
I grew up on the most bland English diet you can think of. I didn't experiment with anything beyond salt and pepper until I was well into my teenage years. So I am not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
Right?
I know my
well, considering me and Jeff are the only local people in the town of Melbourne, so let's fucking do it.
You two can get together and do something silly and film it, all right?
So apparently people type in YouTube one chip challenge, and then there's like these videos with like millions of views, just people watching.
Okay.
Crying.
We'll do the one chip challenge and then we'll wax our balls. What the fuck?
No, what you should do, Dave, is do a twist and do them both at the same time, just for the real level.
I've seen some crazy shit. Like I see these guys did this can of fish. They opened it up, and just the smell of it coming from the can. Are puking.
I've heard of that one. I've seen footage of that one as well. Where the
like
smell is enough to make you throw up.
50 million views or some fucking thing. Is crazy.
That's okay. John Bush has done that all the time.
No, here we go. John West or John Bush or both?
John Bush, both.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, that was like the scrape from the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, we are getting there now. Tough says, been paying to park at hospitals. It's not like I'm there to see a movie. I agree.
Yep,
that is
yes.
Well done.
That's true.
I agree.
Here we go.
Fucked up.
Kat, win. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Kat.
Happy birthday, Kat. Happy birthday to Cat.
Birthday to Cat. Finn, getting old sucks. But in saying that, at least I'm aging disgracefully. You can age disgracefully along with all of us
Fuck
here.
yeah, we all are.
None of us are going to age gracefully. I'll tell you that right now.
We're going to age drunk and rowdy.
Genuinely happy birthday from all of us. Hope you've had a great day.
Happy birthday, Kat.
Yeah, and thank you because you jump into Patreon. You're quite active and supportive in there, so I appreciate everything you're doing there as well. But just a special thank you to you. Hopefully you've had a fantastic day and you've been rightfully spoiled by those near and dear to you. What do we got here? Tom says, dentists can work miracles if they can fix my teeth without going to the wreckers for your parts. You're okay. All right, yeah, I'm going to need to go down that path eventually too. I've got a couple of people that are pretty fucked. Vinny says, my only two bins are Essendon are still pathetic and the media scaremongering with monkeypox. Yeah, that's two interesting ones.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Monkeypox?
Well, monkeypox, yeah.
Again, we can discuss it after.
Is that the new COVID?
The WHO have already caused like a state.
I've been living in a fucking box. Monkeypox is a thing now.
Apparently, that's been for a while, to be honest.
I get my. This is my news feed. I don't pay any attention to the news.
I know about it where I'm living at the moment, which tells you how far and wide that shit's getting. So I live in a town of fuck all people, and it's there's like
give me COVID, man. Give me fucking COVID. This thing looks nasty as shit.
Yeah, no, this is not good.
No.
We'll see what happens. But anyway, Tuff says, put life in your days, not days in your life. Forget birthdays. Life is life a party. Happy birthday. Well, there we go. There's a nice little comment.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it 10 times fast. Sparksy has gone, Brett, I agree. Well, you guys can get together and do the chip challenge together. Michael's gone, Dave, remember that I know what your real name is and with photo evidence. Well, anyway.
Yeah, you do. You got photos of us when we were 5, dude. Fucking
yeah.
Hey, I got video of you singing Beth. Mind you, I'm in that video as well, so we'll shut the fuck up about
that. Wow. Vinny's gone, FYI, his name is Dave Jong-un. There we go, that's Dave's name.
Right. No, it's out. The cat's out. Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag now.
Damn it. Why is everybody so fucking stupid?
Vinny's having a field day. Fuck you and your warm fall. Yeah, okay.
Fuck you.
Tuff says homework was beyond stupid. I was overwhelmed with it in year 7. Just gave it had a shitload of detentions. I don't know, to detention. 40 years later, I'm still going to detention. Yeah,
similar.
So that's all of us. The only, I didn't do very well in school. Strumming, it's called, Jeff. What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
Strumming. I don't know what's going on now. What are you guys talking about?
We got to be more interactive with these comments.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Strumming. I have no idea what that
is. Okay,
I'm a proud member of the Breakfast Club.
But Vinny, I know Vinny said it too. I have no idea.
Yeah, Sparksy, man, what the fuck's going on? Sir Strum, and they were on different platforms. Vinny said it on Facebook, and Sparksy said it on fucking YouTube at the same time.
Well, can somebody tell us what the fuck that is? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I should be Googling it, but I'm going to. I don't know.
God, Belle, pray for your results. Tuff says, I'm a proud member of the Breakfast Club. There we go. It's the fish. There we go. That's the fish. Right.
Oh, the John Bush fish.
No, the one that was making people throw up. That's
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Swedish cuisine. Wow.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a delicacy in some parts of the world. It's like a delicacy by the smell. All right, well done.
Dirty Swedes.
Stephen again says, if you haven't heard the band Creeping Death, their album Boundless Domain is an awesome slab of groovy death metal. Okay, have to check that out. Nice. Cat's gone, cheers, you guys rock. Welcome, and again, happy birthday. Sparky's gone, I'm 28, looking 68. That's some miles on those tires, pal. And
but you can't guess how old I am.
A lot of bananas and nuts recently. I may have the pox. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Hey, baby,
stuff out there. It's a crazy, crazy world. Tuff says, I'm a 19-year-old stuck in a 48-year-old body. Okay, now everyone's getting
Aren't we all?
Themselves the end around. All right. That'll about do it. Does anyone else have anything else I want to add here? Or are we going to just wrap this up, call it a day?
I'll start.
Let's call it a night. We're running over time. Thank you so much for your company tonight. Hopefully you had a great time. If you're tuning in later on, check out everything in the description box for links and reference tracks. Everything you need to know about us is in there as well. I didn't put it up before, but I'll put up our contact email now because we had an email come through today about from someone through Channel 31 trying to get a hold of us, send a clip into the TV broadcast. So media@thehardrockshow.com is the best email. But you can sort us on Patreon. Check us out on your preferred platform, just at The Hard Rock Show as well. And as always, Jody says hello at Inside at the top of the episode, but I'm saying it now. Jody says hello to everyone as always. But that will about do us. What do we got here? Tough says, take care, everyone. Stay metal. We will, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Until next time, thank you to Jeff beside me and Dave and Bill on the bottom half of the screen. Thank you all for jumping in and doing another week with us here. Been an absolute blast, and we'll see you all out there very, very soon. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, place. If you're watching on TV, 10:30 p.m. Thursday night, Channel 44 Adelaide, 10:30 p.m. Saturday night, Channel 31 in Melbourne. The next week's broadcast is going to revisit our Living Colour interview from 2017, which has a very, very special moment that has not been seen.
It does.
It's a special, special moment. That was so cool.
Yes.
You're watching that on TV, you're in for a special treat. Wild episode, though, because it starts off with some heavy, heavy shit. So it's going to be all over the place, that episode. So have fun with that one coming up on TV land. But for us, we've got a lot coming up, as always. So we've got another busy week ahead. For now, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you all very, very soon. Until next time, I'm Andrew. And you know what to do. Until next time, drink up.
Drink up.
Fun.
Go on.
Cheers.
And listen to Metallica, of course.
And listen to Metallica. Yeah, Metallica.
See you, folks. Adios. Beef.